Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life. I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, hand to the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah, but I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Late Night Culture Show. We are rocking it into July. It is July 9th. We're headed into July 10th. There are a big group of amazing humans that are here now and more joining us more shortly on the way. Well, and some of them are just plain short. But look, there's guys here with us right now. We have like many producers. I'm dominated by the Balds. The Balds are here this evening. We got Toxic. Well, I don't know. Toxic, wow. Bye then.
I do shave my nether regions, yes.
Okay, very good. The carpets match the drapes then. Yeah, and then of course, right below him is just another red shirt. Hail, Mr. Shirt, the guy that, he did homework tonight. So we're going to let him lead the conversation when we get to the primary subject matter. How's it going tonight, sir?
It's going great. And by the way, the carpet doesn't match the drapes. For Toxic Man Flu, he's got hardwood floors.
Oh,
yes, that is true. Yeah. Oh, well, there is the waxing.
I think they call that shorn. And speaking of shorn, it's that 70s rock fan. He knows how to shear a thing or two. How's it doing, my friend?
Well, it's going very well, my oviphobic friend.
Oviphobic. Oh, man.
Well, thank you.
All right. The fear of ovaries. That's horrible.
No, the fear of sheep. That's the fear of sheep.
Sheep you, buddy. I'm not afraid of sheep at
all. Sheep you?
Yeah.
That's a double sheep on you.
And a big pile of sheep.
Good evening, enemy.
It's great to see you. And, of course, the man who was with us and now is back with us, and his name is also that Fat Steven Seagal guy, Fat Steven JFG, whatever you want to call him. He's everywhere. He games, he produces, he makes thumbnails, he does video stuff. He's everywhere. How's it going, Fat Steven?
I am currently nursing a somewhat hangover, thanks to shout out to Christian Delorme, if you guys know him.
My buddy
Yeah,
Christian.
him and his wife came down today from Ottawa, picked me up, took me out for a beer and chicken wings, and we had a good old time for a few hours.
Okay, if you have a hangover, wait a minute. If you have a hangover, it's not a beer.
Oh no, it was definitely not one beer.
Speaking of not one beer, the lady with the red head, the lady that makes you laugh, the lady with the infectious laugh, otherwise known as Arwen Avalon, is joining us this evening. Greetings, dear.
Hey, Culture. Hey, everyone. How y'all doing tonight?
I'm great. I'm so glad that you're here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Hey, you seemed like you were looking for a home. So, hey, welcome to
It's just
That's right.
Culture's
out picking up homeless women again. Thank you very much.
No.
Arwen is welcome wherever she goes.
Yeah, I'm
Oh
saying.
my God. The boss is watching right now. She's in the other room. You guys are going to get a sandal.
Throw the shoe. Throw the shoe.
I know this much.
Hold on.
I know that. Look, today's
Hey,
headlines.
honey, can you text the boss? Tell her to throw a shoe.
Stop. Okay. Look,
Culture, retaliate. Get Mrs. Flu to throw meat.
Yeah, you know what? Mrs. Flu needs to throw meat. That's what. You know what? Here's the weird thing. Today's headlines are really important. I think you guys all look. This is today's headline. You ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. China Ferrari 6 orgy death crash.
There's a lot
That
to unpack.
sounds like a movie.
All at once?
Every day. Okay. Well,
I'm not sure how any of these things happened, but the legs on the left-hand side of the page could have indicated how it started. Not sure how
China was already dead.
I blame the bicycle.
How are they sitting in a Ferrari? Their legs don't reach that far.
Wow. Oh, my goodness. I'm so
I did see a Ferrari on a flatbed truck yesterday while driving. So maybe that was
Is it
it.
the sex orgy that caused the death or the Ferrari?
Okay,
I think it was the exhaust pipe that was abused.
I honestly need.
My oldest son was conceived in a.
Okay, so apparently a senior official's son died after something with the Ferrari apparently. So I can't read it, but it doesn't look good. Look, that's today's headline tomorrow, or tomorrow's headline today, or I don't know. But all I know is that didn't work out well. And I do know that, I have to apologize for oppressing ladies everywhere. Arwen, I'm very sorry. I say I'm sorry to the boss all the time. But no. This is another wonderful thing that came across my window pane that now that I've seen you have to see too.
Mikey?
No. Stop oppressing me. I'm sorry.
You oppress women just because your hair's so great. I mean, you oppress them.
his hair is very threatening to women.
Yeah.
It's possible. Look, the lady on the right has great hair. The lady on the left, try harder. Okay, I'm just gonna say that. But look,
giving them the right to vote was such a mistake.
Let them ride on the bus too. That's another one.
They can.
No. Buses are fine.
No. I've seen the horror.
When did they get the right to vote?
We had an amendment. There was an amendment.
A while, at least within the past year.
See, here's the weird thing. Okay, no. See, here's how they got it, Brian. You want to know? They called it suffrage.
Well, if this is the thing, I'm all for women tying themselves to railings and suffering a jet movement. That's quite okay by me.
I'm suffering right now.
Okay, as a woman, I'm going to weigh in on this.
And the suffrage has never ended.
No, I get it. Women had to band together and do the suffragette thing. And I think that's wonderful. And as a woman, I'm really proud of us. But who the hell gave us the right to vote? It was a bunch of men. It was a bunch of men. I know,
it was.
Why can't they get credit for once?
Bunch of henpecked men.
They get credit that they got together and said, this sounds like a good idea. Let's do it, y'all. We're the lawmakers right now. Let's do it. And they did it, and they never get credit for it.
I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. I'm having an issue.
Don't worry about it, Arwen. Men are taking over women again, so we're taking over the entire women.
I've seen that.
You have to be a man to be a great woman now. So
yeah, we're now known as non-men.
We played the long game, and we're winning.
Hey, chest feeding is now approved by the CDC.
Yeah.
Chest feeding?
Chest feeding, yeah.
Would
Arwen, there's a lot of those around.
Birthing people. Oh, okay.
Would Culture
yeah,
be able to
no.
do that, though, with
Yes,
the
dear?
weave? Yeah.
Incoming.
Oh shit! She threw shoes at me. No. You're supposed to tell the boss to throw shoes at him.
The boss threw meat at me.
They've been talking. Those sneaky women. You give them the right to vote, they start talking to each other and sneaking up on you.
Next thing you know, we want to be like CEOs, and we want to
These are nice.
ruin Star Wars. And I mean,
then-
there's all kinds of things we'll do next.
Soon you'll be wanting to not do the housework. I mean,
Well, I don't know. I know some men who do better housework than women, so I think
That's
the
not
housework
hard,
thing is
actually.
more of
You
a.
guys
You know
suck.
what? I challenge any feminists out there to do what my grandmother did. She was 4'11", raised 5 kids on her own, working 3 jobs for 40 years.
Yeah.
She had let's just say she had an Oldsmobile, 1970 Oldsmobile 442 convertible.
Whoa!
Yeah, she
car.
drove fast. She liked to take me to hockey games, and we would be down on the baseboards because, down there at the boards because she liked to see the fights. We'd go to the races. Yeah, and she'd take me to the pits, and we go to baseball games. She took me everywhere. And when I stayed the night at her house, she let me watch Benny Hill. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Oh, now
I was
that's
like, what are those? She goes,
cool.
those are breasts. Thanks, Grandma. Boy, was my mom pissed when I got home with that one.
Worked out well.
What did you do at Grandma's house? I saw breasts. Oh, that worked out.
I don't know though. It's kind of warms my heart that your first breast exposure.
Yeah, it wasn't a
Benny
shoe.
Hill and not Playboy or something. I mean, I think that's.
Oh,
kinda
yeah.
cool.
I never got into those kind of magazines and stuff like that. I didn't, and I understand, people have to work and it's the oldest profession there, but I don't have to be a part of that.
No, that's.
No, I mean,
My grandmother would literally come up out of the grave and kick my ass
Uh,
if I did that stuff. So
yeah, I'm in that same position. Well, Steven's back. Steven is like a yo-yo. Hey, Steven.
I'm sorry. I was checking to see if women could still vote. The answer
Oh
is
no, still.
no.
we can.
Are you saying Steven's non-binary and can't make up his
Are
mind?
you saying you're trans, Peter Parker?
Trans Peter Parker.
Stephen's internet was being limited by Justin Trudeau. He's sitting with a button cutting Stephen off.
No, that's not true. My
yeah.
internet is not hidden in a bunker.
Oh no.
Oh, you know what? Facebook didn't pay for you posting a link to somebody else's content.
Oh,
That's what it was.
yeah. Because I go on Facebook all the time to look for Canadian news. That's no longer there because Canada's throwing a fit right now with their fucking bills.
Yeah, you guys, nobody's paying attention to you anymore because you cut yourself off from the world.
No one paid attention to me beforehand. We're Canadian.
Oh, that's true. Jeremy for $5 because I'm going to pay attention to him right now says, so we talking relationship and did Culture give everyone the link?
Give everyone the what?
The link.
The clap?
No,
sorry,
okay.
the link.
So there's a story behind this $5 super chat from my good friend Dermy Wormy, and it's this.
Because he posted on the Twitter again?
He invited me on a show for Friday, and he said, hey, come on my show. And then I said, sure. And then he didn't send me the link. And then he told me
that's what I did to No Green Rocks on Monday.
Yeah, exactly the same thing. And so then he's like, well, we're going to talk about relationships. And I show up, and that is not what we're talking about. We're talking about some dude letting some other dude rail his wife. And I'm like, that is not a relationship. I'm like,
so they talked about
no,
Jack
that's
Murphy?
an extracurricular activity.
That's how Jack Murphy's beard was born.
That's a cuck. I don't care if it's, oh, go ahead, honey. Go off with, that's a cuck. That is a man who has no self-respect.
Well, she is.
Any man who lets another man bang his woman, no self.
Depends how good the popcorn is.
I don't even know how to deal with that.
That's the whole point.
I know this. This guy's name's like
There's no
Adam.
kernel of truth in that.
One Adam
No,
12.
there's no kernel of truth at all. But there is a little bit of added white cheddar cheese.
Lost my foot.
Hey, Larry. Look, it's one Adam 12, one Adam 12, or no, it's Adam 22 is the guy's name, and his wife apparently was like famous for like being with other ladies, and that's how she made her money. But I don't pay attention to this stuff. First of all, it is not in my wheelhouse. I have no interest in this, and so
You're out of the orgy scene?
into a show. No. I need to defend myself.
No, he's still in the orgy scene.
You're still in the orgy scene. Okay.
Okay, got it.
You might want to call Mrs. Boss now, just to make sure that
I got pulled into this show.
Did they pull too hard, or was it more of a stroking kind of?
It's a vegetable orgy out in his garden.
Was there rope involved?
I
kept
feel
pulling
my
out the
microphone's
eggplant.
Not working now. Okay, here's the microphone. Okay, here we go. I'm talking.
Eggplant.
So,
Do you prefer an English cucumber or an American?
He likes the sea cucumbers. They have attachments.
You can mute us all.
I could, but it's a lot of effort. Look, okay, so here's the thing. So I go into the show thinking I'm going to like actually talk about relationships because, I have one, for a while now because, over there, ladies,
Thank you for validating that.
Anyway, so I thought it was like, okay, I'm going to give people some thoughts and ideas and things that make things work, things that you probably shouldn't do. No. It was all about like weird craziness that I didn't want to talk about. So, but I made my best effort on the show, and then when I ran out of time, I left.
The orgy?
No. But I think Dermy Wormy for his $5 super chat, and I'm gonna play him a clip, but it's not a happy one. I'm pretty mad.
Richard, you regret it.
Why are you mad?
Well, because.
And modern problems require modern solutions.
That's true. I was misinformed about what I was going to be talking about. That's why I was angry.
Well, here's Culture's latest relationship advice channel.
Sounds good. Oh no,
him and Tom. There you go.
You finally got the wood.
That's it. That's how Culture ends relationships.
That's not how you play Shovel Knight.
Damn, Tom can really throw that wood too.
Why is his head on backwards though? That's the weird part.
Tom has been working with wood for a long time.
He's got skills.
He's got some skills. And he's two-handed too. That's impressive.
That looked really uncomfortable.
Like the back of a
Monkey
Volkswagen.
Jeebus loves you.
Yeah. Yes, I know. For the internet.
You should see some of the rest of it that he's done.
I really don't.
I try not to look at all of that too much.
Speaking of things I don't try to look at, we do have some good news, though. Okay. Apparently, Jamie Foxx, or some reasonable facsimile thereof, actually went out there and waved aboard a boat in his first public appearance since hospitalization.
So he is okay.
That's all he.
Nice.
Wave? Is that good?
Well, that's good.
I don't know what happened to him. I don't know.
Did he actually wave, or was it like
He
Weekend at Bernie's?
supposedly had a stroke after some surgery or something.
Oh God, I didn't know that.
He's up. He's waving his arms. He's okay.
Is he waving them like hello, or waving them help? I need help. Like,
Was
look,
it the Team America secret signal?
So he is out.
Gary.
And he's out and about this weekend and made his first public appearance and suffering a medical condition. Not sure what that is.
It was pretty sudden, though. It was sudden.
he watched Late Night Culture and he went down.
Well, I have to say that I'm happy if he's doing better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We don't wish harm on anyone like this, even no matter what happened. Thanks.
Not even Rolling Stone.
All right, so this is the video clip. If you want to watch it your own self, go ahead. But the TMZ and these knuckleheads around that will claim the pants
Hopefully
off.
That's not just an actor playing an actor.
I don't know. It's a dude playing another dude.
Is that?
It's really Robert Downey Jr. It's really
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, it's really Robert Downey Jr.
Who
opened his mouth again?
people.
Somebody, I don't know what they did to him.
Oh, he did something ridiculous this week.
He was redonkulous. Redonk?
I'm like,
Redonkulous.
I don't know how the talks. I don't know the hip lingo.
And I'm older than you, so I really don't know any of this.
I thought you were Culture. You're a very cunning linguist. I thought.
Yeah. Culture. All you gotta do is open up anything after the New Testament, and you can catch up with their lingo.
I'm trying.
Moses. I keep waiting for Culture to go up and
wait, but there is
say,
nothing
I brought you
after the New
15.
Testament.
That's
10 commandments.
Well, you start off
I
with
don't
15.
know who knows their Bible and who doesn't.
I was making a joke.
I used to have it memorized, the King James Version, cover to cover.
Yeah, well, but here's the thing. Don't you feel like the moment that the 15 commandments turned into 10, that was God's way of editing? He's like, nah, these other 5, don't worry about it.
Well, the last 5 only applied directly to Kathleen Kennedy and what she could and could not do to Star Wars and Indiana Jones. So that's, a biblical mistake.
Well, I feel biblical right now. What I do feel is what I feel.
Do you know
right
what
now,
it they drove in the Bible?
I wonder if he splits his pubes like Moses.
The car that they drove in the Bible.
wasn't it? It was a 4-barrel, and I think
I
It was a Honda.
It was in one. It was in. Yeah, it was an Accord because they
It was
were
a
all
Honda
in one
because it said
Accord.
that all the apostles were in one accord.
Yep.
No.
That's a
With
terrible
a 4-barrel carburetor and a Honda? Give me a break.
No, yeah, that thing wouldn't.
No, I was going for the
tail
Blues
end would be
Brothers.
up. You couldn't go. Anywhere.
I was going for the Blues Brothers joke.
Yeah,
but-
you
Oh,
look
the
more
Blues
like a
Brothers
Nova
one.
guy.
Oh, that's good.
Hey, is
We have the
everybody
longest
say-
butt in the Bible.
Everybody say,
Everybody say,
who tied what ass
Hey.
to a tree?
Yeah, Moses. He tied his ass to a tree and walked for 5 miles.
That's what I thought.
Didn't
Culture
Jack
was,
talk
hey.
back at one point? Didn't he say, "Why are you hitting me?" And
Exactly.
I talked to somebody.
JS Pena is calling me Kami Casino. Thanks, bro. But the boss is here, by the way, and she's So
She threw meat at you. Apparently, that was them colluding. Yeah.
yeah, I know they reversed sauced us there.
are you saying you got
pepperoni
tube
and-
staked?
Reverse sauced us. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that again.
Yeah, reverse sauce.
Not from the Magic Beer Man.
That's true. I can produce beer like nobody.
I was convinced.
You lactate
Totally
beer?
convinced.
I
When we were in
did.
Dallas, I've told this story.
Oh, well, maybe Steve. Did you not hear the beer?
So
of the
we were
Magic
when we
Beer
were in Dallas, and after the meetup on Thursday, we did a show on Thursday Night Throwdown,
This is true.
and we were all together. Culture and I had spent all day getting the room set up, and
Oh, yeah.
and he had the cameras, and it was great. It was a great show. Nick was drunk enough and talked for 4.5 hours
On Venom.
On Venom there, but I was sitting to where I could see Culture, and they had a green screen up and things like that. And he had these younglings, and he not younglings, yinglings. It's a beer. So he drank one, and then handed it to me because I could get to where we were keeping the alcohol and stuff at the time. I put the cans over, so I put the can there. I turned around. He had 2 more beers.
True story.
He drank those, handed those to me, and I put them away. I came back. He had 2 more beers.
True story.
Well, I was drinking a lot of whiskey at the time. So I turned, took those, come back. He had 2 more beers. I was convinced after those 10 minutes, because he drank a lot of beer in that time, that he was some kind of magic god that just produced beer. And 100% thought that was happening. And then about 30 minutes later, I saw the boss's hand come up from underneath the green screen to hand him the beers. And I was like, oh. But for about 10 minutes to half an hour, I thought Culture was magic.
Now,
I heard it lactates Bud Light. Is that true?
No. Oh,
No.
God. No, and to defend my friend, defend my friend.
Defenstrate your friend.
I have
my
been
friend.
defenstrated.
I am defenstrating right now.
No, to defend my friend, I'm gonna tell you right now. He had probably had a lot to drink at that point because we had a bar set up like just
Yes.
top the
I
camera
had a lot of Hibeki,
and some
a
people.
lot of 12-year-old Japanese scotch.
Yeah.
Thank God it ended with scotch.
Yeah, but still, my favorite part of the stream was the fact that Nick talked for 20 minutes, 30 minutes straight on freaking Venom. It was
What's wrong with
amazing.
Venom?
But nothing.
No,
It's just that
it was-
Nick was very excited about it all day and wanted to talk about it real bad.
was
We said,
not
okay,
true.
it'll be one of our topics.
Yeah.
And then I think Comics goes, okay, we're going to be talking about this, and Venom. And then Nick just ran with it
Yeah.
and just bam.
He got
So
it.
20 minutes, bam. And I'm
I've
like,
never
okay.
heard Nick Weiser talk about anything for 4 hours.
You've not heard his food
Except
streams.
pizza. I have heard him talk about not
Oh,
for 4 hours,
pizza?
but
Oh,
I
yeah,
have
if you
heard him
say
talk-
Oh
deep
yeah,
dishes,
red
Chicago
shirt. If
style.
you don't stop him, if you don't cut him off, just like Culture, he will go and go and go and go.
Because he knows so much.
And I love him.
He could have
And
kept
hi,
going.
everybody.
Hey,
He
Tom.
could have
Hey,
kept
Tom.
going.
Hey,
I
Tom.
left your KY on the table.
Nice Space Jam.
Where?
I don't know.
I have KY and I've been jerking off with socks.
Josh Post says,
Wasn't that the
"Hey,
Clinton's
Tom,
cat?"
timing."
Truth in
None of them-
advertising.
Better your socks than mine, Tom.
Hey, red shirt.
You're trying to say some Culture's trying to do the show.
Josh
Really?
also thinks that I'm Beer Jesus.
I wouldn't
You
say
are.
I'd go that far. I wouldn't
Jesus.
go that far, Culture, but I do think
sounds
you
like a country
probably
song.
learned a very great biblical trick, and you've managed to turn wine into water.
No, I'll fund that movie though. Passion of the Drunk. We can do that right now. Just keep drinking, Culture.
I got it. Okay, speaking of which, we just got a member chat from my friend Real Wade Nation Gaming Clips. Says, hey, I didn't know CC was in Indy 5. Hey, I'm 43 away. He's 43 away from the magic number. Check out Real Wade Nation Gaming Clips. Oh, gosh. Yeah, this is a good question from Dark Anubis. Says, what the heck is in my socks? I don't know.
Your feet?
Kathleen Kennedy.
Wow. Okay. We're gonna get there. We have a subject matter tonight.
So you socked it too.
Beer Jesus, beer Jesus.
He has 3 nipples.
Beer Jesus. He makes the beer for you and me.
It's really KYSG.
Beer Jesus. I don't know what else to sing to that.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Jesus beer is available at every Kmart. Get yourself baptized in Culture Casino's Jesus beer today.
I do like how Just Another Red shirt and Culture are wearing the same shirt. It's really good.
Oh, which one of them's going to die on this away team mission?
I don't know.
Not me.
Culture wears red on Sunday.
That sounds kind of weird.
So are we just substituting the word beer in movie titles now? Like from beer to eternity? We could do that as a subject.
Or like the Beer to the Future?
Yes.
What's your favorite time travel beer movie?
Hot Tub Time Machine. Okay, so Valiant Renegade sent a member chat saying Culture is streaming on 3 other streams right now. This is true.
And in the past.
Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Brewer's Stone. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Bruce? Yeah, that works.
CC Karaoke says Culture has clones confirmed.
What about beer bandits?
My beer clones. And that 70s rock fan for a member chat says, I predict that the new Mission Impossible movie will be amongst my 7 favorites of the franchise.
That's not what it says. It
Ha
says
ha.
karaoke.
Ha 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 ha. Ha ha.
I think it's
That was profound.
That was yeah.
Okay,
It
speaking
was
of
anti-found as opposed to profound.
Well, speaking of the profundity, yes, that's the correct
There'll
word.
be a lot of
Profundity.
feetings in this.
Yes,
this
fusty lugs, that's what I say. Fusty lugs.
I love you guys. Tom's gonna do background our noise here. What are we doing? Oh, we have another super chat from our good friend Dermy Warmy for $5. Says, Culture, I'm sorry for clickbaiting you. Okay. You had awesome things to say, and to be fair, I barely know what the topics will be myself. Okay.
Don't make excuses, dude. You're good.
Yeah, it was a wonderful stream. I was joking on you, joking about you.
I double joke on you, jokester boy.
Yeah, that's what I said. Those are words. I put them
there?
together in a sentence. Woo! Okay.
Jesus.
Let me tell you.
Doctor, where are we going this time?
Okay, I'm gonna get claimed so hard.
There you are. Is this the 50s or 1999? I don't know. It's kind of a little different.
RJ Godzilla says
he likes orgies.
Beer Jesus beer is better than Bud Light. Not that that's real hard or difficult either. Ha ha.
Hey, look, I can turn water into beer.
Yes.
Tom, I thought that was going to be Hey Prudence.
Hey, oh, I love
Hey Prude.
No,
Don't
Prudence.
watch that film.
Hey, Prudence.
Don't you know that you're showing ankle?
Okay.
Nobody else is really getting
The
come out to play.
Amish are known for their sexual prowess. Oh, sorry.
My secret word is Dylan Mulvaney.
Off the Rails, starring Beer Jesus.
Bricky 13 says Tom should do a concert live stream. I agree with that.
Or live stream a concert. One of the two.
Yeah, Rappaportis is there with that. Just totally stoked. You got True
Is that what
Story.
XT means?
Tom wrote the song Short People Got No Reason to Live. Don't tell anybody.
Hey, someone cares about the midgets.
It was
He did
inspired
write
by
one like
comics.
that. He did write one like that song.
He did.
Very close to it.
All right, let's do this. We have a subject. I'm going to do it. Ready?
Sure you are.
Okay,
Yep.
What is the subject?
Is it
that you wanted
beer?
to talk about?
The subject is the fact that no matter what Disney does, they don't do it well. And
So it's another day that ends in Y for us.
If you're gonna do it right.
Well,
now.
this is a special day ending in Y, to be honest, Tom.
Yeah.
You know what else ends in Y? Orgy.
Okay, so Mr. Shirt is here.
Mr. Shirt.
Mr. Shirt.
That part is true. We don't often have Mr. Red Shirt.
And he's going to say, on behalf of all of us today, that Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny did not do well.
No, got beaten.
That is an understatement. You must be British, Culture.
I tried.
you do quite well. As would be proud. Disney is in a perfect storm right now. Their last 12 months of movies have lost them something like $890,000 million. And that's before Indiana Jones and the whatever you want to call it came out and has traveled straight to the basement. This movie could lose, depending on who you listen to and who you believe, I don't know, some astonishing amount of percentage of its cost, of its production cost, and its marketing cost. This could be as much as more than half on a worst case scenario. But on top of all of that, because the movies have been just sinking Disney, they haven't been able to get a bunt, never mind a home run. Bob Iger, he's looking for a contract extension because his ego won't let him walk away from this in the state that it's in. The Reedy Creek legal battle with Florida and in the federal courts, that's not looking good for Disney either, no matter what the media tries to spin it as. Park revenue, has anybody seen any pictures of the 4th of July at Walt Disney World? Didn't look good. Shortest lines of the year is what I heard reported. That means it was shorter than a random Thursday in February. And according to the Wall Street Journal, NBC Universal executives estimated Hulu's value to be more than $70 billion in 2021, and that's in arbitration, and Disney is desperate to get Hulu's valuation down because they're going to have to pay a third of it to Comcast. And they don't have the money for that because they just spent it all on Indiana Jones. They are in deep trouble on a ready cash basis, and nothing is working for them right now. The parks are not. The parks are their golden calf, but they don't look like they used to. And Iger is desperate to find a life raft right now, I would think. And he's not going to let go because he knows if he walks out now, he's going to own all of this.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, he came back specifically, and you know this because I know he did a bunch of research today, but he came back specifically to protect his
legacy.
Yes, exactly right, Fat Steven. I don't know. I mean, Dial of Desperation. Yeah, I mean, the marketing strategy on this has been sad.
100 million.
Well, it's way more than that. But
oh yeah.
I mean, I don't even know.
I've been calling it the denial of disappointment.
Yes, I think that's perfect. And
that actually is a better title.
Yeah, and I feel like that. Okay, so I'll pull this back on the screen again real quick. But this is calm down, Steven. 247 million to this very moment. $247,905,000. So it's about 248. This is a global earnings number, and it is sad.
It's made more international than it has domestic.
And well, that's
not by enough to make a difference.
Exactly, and that's the biggest problem. We're looking at a film that I had to recalculate where I thought this thing would end up. This could possibly end up under 400 million by the time it ends. Do you know when it ends?
Next week when Reckoning comes out?
Tuesday. It's going to end it's Sunday. It's going to end Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's like 2 days from now.
Yeah.
And they'll know how bad it's going. Sorry, go ahead, Tom.
I was just going to say, don't forget Dead Reckoning has preview screenings tomorrow night, too. I have to run here shortly.
Yep.
And tickets are already on sale, and they're already tabulating that. So Disney's about to get the pre-sales for Dead Reckoning, and it's going to tell them just how much they're going to get buried by this movie.
Well, they can always try to throw out a quick QAnon advert marketing campaign, try to get those last few bucks. Oh wait, wrong movie. My bad.
Yeah, that'll only works in San Francisco and New York.
They still have cinemas in San Francisco. They would all be closed down by now.
They don't have grocery stores, and they're running out of Targets, and they're running out of hotels. But yes, they do have some cinemas there. Yeah. Captain Have Fun says they have less than 2 weeks of operating cash. Oh, at Disney? Not surprising. They have to take short-term loans to make payroll soon, unless something huge happens. Well, something huge is happening, but it's not in the right direction.
I'm sure BlackRock and Vanguard are waiting to loan them more money.
Kara says Indiana Jane and the dialogue of Miss Sandry. I love that. That is a good one. Thank you for that one.
Nice.
Yeah, and this is the truest story you'll ever hear from Dave Van Horn here saying Iger Bud Light at Disney before that was a thing. He did. You know what? I often say that your chickens come home to roost, but you know there's like a delayed effect to that. You know, it's like like your chickens stop laying eggs, you stop getting more chickens, and then you have no chickens to lay eggs anymore.
I'll just reiterate something I've said for a long time. I don't think I've said it on YouTube, but you know, Eisner, we all remember the predecessor, Bob Iger's predecessor. Eisner's last years were really bad for Disney. And then Bob Iger came in and said, hold my Chardonnay. Bob Iger is the worst thing that's happened.
I thought he said, hold my Bud Light.
Well, he probably did, but at the time, yes. But at the time, I think he was drinking Chardonnay. Now he's drinking Bud Light. But Bob Iger's the worst thing that's happened to Disney in my lifetime. And I've been a fan of Disney since I was 10 years old.
But the parks, it's still the most. Yeah, the parks is seeing records at the parks.
Yeah, I know they are.
Yeah. Okay, I've thought about that because I'm originally from Florida, and you know, one of the things my parents would do every year is they would scrimp and save because there was 6 of us in the house, and we would go to the park because we weren't really that far from it. But of course, you know, even now, it's still expensive. But I think about the thing that Disney has lost is Disney has lost the purity and magic of vision that Walt had. And a lot of people who've gone to the parks and who've grown up with a lot of these movies are seeing that purity and magic removed. And think about the average Disney goer. It's your average, your average couple with, 2.5 kids. Don't have a ton of money, but they save because they want to go and enjoy this. With Disney losing that, the families are saying no.
How much are the
particularly
tickets?
I had no idea at this point. I
well
know,
over $100 a day per person.
I went about 20 years ago and it was expensive, and I haven't been
Plus,
since.
you got to stay somewhere near the park.
You do, and then you have all that other expense involved. But these people,
Plus the
with
food.
it being
What is
so
the corn
low,
dogs are $15, right?
Oh yeah, well, food is off the charts.
Oh man,
I mean, I've paid less for food in New York City than I did at Disney World.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't surprise me that the 4th was so low because a lot of these people who did, who want Disney to be the way that it was, not the way that it's going, they're just grassroots, patriotic people. Why in the world would you want to go to a park that's celebrating, Independence Day, 4th of July, when they can't even keep the ideals and principles that they once had? When they are all about Disney now, they are not about the people. They are not about the fans. They are not about the audience pleasing them. They want, the audience to come in and give them all the accolades and give them it's all about them. And at the end of the day, why waste your time? And I'm a pixie duster, y'all. I love Legacy Disney. Absolutely. And I still enjoy it. And that's the one thing I refuse to do is I refuse to let the garbage that they're doing today ruin my enjoyment of what came before that, because it's two different animals.
But isn't that the problem?
Agreed.
Right? But wait. Let's talk about that, because I've been hearing this now in the comments section of my videos, because I've been doing a lot of them when it comes to this and other Disney related subjects, and I've been hearing from people that it's retroactively destroying their enjoyment of older things.
It's not me. It's not me, because you know what? Life is too damn short.
No. I appreciate that perspective, Arwen. I really do. But the problem is that you end up in a situation where you're destroying rewatchability when it comes to generational properties like these franchises, because that's why they're franchises. I mean, they're franchises because I can go back and rewatch Star Wars, like the first 3 films, and get that same level of enjoyment. They haven't taken that out of me quite yet. Whereas with Star Trek, they've started to chip away at my enjoyment of the Next Generation and things like that. Whereas, you know, with Indiana Jones, I'm starting to feel it. You know what I mean? And the problem, go ahead. Go ahead.
No. I was saying, I was agreeing with you.
Yeah. So
I see where you're coming from.
So what you're doing now is I'm less likely to introduce this to the younger generations in my life because they pulled away my joy for something, which means that they can never capitalize on this property again. And here's the other problem. The reason that Disney parks are so successful and reciprocally their films are successful is because they have that reciprocal relationship. Like every time you go to Fantasyland, you're reliving the classic animated feature films that were put together by Walt and his team, the 13 old guys, right? The 13 old men, you know, the 9 old men, you know, according to, you know, the book. And so when you go back and you head that direction, and I know Valiant, you know, dropped out a little earlier than I'd hoped, because I was hoping he'd be here for this one. But you end up in the situation where now, what's your connection to this ride? It's minimal. So the theme parks, which are always the staple, the experience of the film, which brought in way more money than the cinemas did.
Yeah.
Right. That's that enjoyment, that experience, all of that's gone. It's gone. And now because there's no connection with the property, because you never saw Snow White. You go and you ride this dark ride attraction, which is like, you know, plywood and freaking paint and black lights, right? You go on that and you're like, I don't get it. Okay, the reason you don't get it is because you weren't exposed to the classic film, because it lost value. And reciprocally, right, the physical representation of it in the theme park is now toast. Now, the argument can be made. The argument can be made that in theme parks, sometimes you can have attractions that supersede or overwhelm or overcome any produced property. But the things that have staying power are tied in some way to a great piece of music, a great piece of cinema, or a great piece of television. And Disney is destroying all of the things that support their parks. Speaking of destroying things, Tom's not. He just opened a thing. He shouldn't have opened it. Look at that! Gremlins!
Oh,
Just make sure you send this to Mikey for tax purposes.
Okay, I'll take care of that.
Well, Culture, just to throw something out here. What Disney is destroying in the parks is they're trying to erase the memory of the old properties. Correct. They're not destroying them. Because I still go back and watch old Disney movies. I still watch Disney shorts if I can find them. The point is that you're right. There's a disconnect between the park and Disney's media, Disney's family entertainment, because their family entertainment has gotten different, and the families don't want it.
But it's not family.
Exactly. And what Disney's done is, and this is the worst thing, because I'm a huge fan of the Disney parks, because the Disney parks really are or were magical, because they weren't put together by ride engineers. They were put together by Imagineers. Yeah. Nowadays, Disney will buy. They've done this. They bought a generic amusement park ride you could find at any Six Flags Great Adventure, and they stuck a whole bunch of Toy Story pictures and characters around on it, and called it Toy Story Land or something. I'm sorry, that's not what Disney does, or what it did.
And again, I mean, well, okay, so I'm going to tell you, the first time that happened, there was a shareholder revolt led by Roy Disney's son. And that's when they kicked Eisner's butt the hell out of the company. And the reason that happened was because they dropped a bunch of carnival spinner rides, like you describe, in a new park called Disney's California Adventure,
Oh,
right?
geez, yeah.
And when they built that park out in what used to be the Disneyland parking lot, you ended up with all these off the shelf things that you could find in anybody else's amusement park. Now, there had been some very similar rides that had been placed originally in the theme park, but they thematically worked. Look at Tom. Tom is showing off cool stuff. They thematically worked, right? You had Dumbo. Dumbo was a spinner ride, but was an elephant that flew. It made sense. But when
Yes.
when you talked about this weird spinny truck thing that came off the lot at Tomators and went over to Disney's Toy Story
the
Land.
teacups. You can find the teacups at any pier on the Jersey Shore, right?
Yes.
So what Disney has done here, Disney's a generational experience.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The difference between progressivism and conservatism. Progressivisms want change now. Want it now. Conservatives say, let's wait. That's the whole point. It's not a political thing. It's about change. Disney wanted to change things fast. They did. Skipped an entire generation of parents and children in the process. And now nobody wants to go see this crap. Why? Because they completely forgot that it's generational in their urge to be current year, in their urge to make changes, and we've got to make people change, and you have to change now, which isn't going to happen. When you yell at your kids, they don't listen. You have to teach them. Elsewise, forget it, right? And so, Red Shirt's gone. So they've blown through the generational stuff. And there's no audience anymore. So you passed it from one to one, right? Parent to child. And they skipped a generation.
And
They're
it was
done.
so unnecessary. It didn't need to be
they didn't need
that
to do
way.
it.
Like you said, change takes time. It takes focus. It takes dedication. It takes a plan. Change has to be organic for people to go, okay, I'm on board with this, or I'm not on board with this, whatever the decision is. But at least you see it coming. You understand it. It makes sense. The kind of change they're doing now, they're just throwing everything into the cauldron and spitting it out at you and saying, if you don't accept this, you are XYZ. And your head's spinning going, where did this come from? This is Disney.
When did I become a bigot? Because I don't like this ride.
Disney.
Yeah.
Right.
Disney has always been synonymous with family entertainment.
Right.
I would
Not
just ask.
anymore.
No.
Toxic. I would just ask, were the teacups copied by the amusement parks, or did Disney get them from there? Because I remember them in '73, and it does tie into Alice in Wonderland.
Well, they were there in 55.
There are rides. That
My
I
mother
agree
was
with
at
you.
Disneyland the week it opened.
Okay.
Mine too.
Well, then I wouldn't call that a cheap copy of amusement park rides. What I would say
but it
is,
was the teacup ride, that physical, the way that works, had been around for 50, 60 years before they made the teacups.
Right.
My point at that, it was not negative. My point at that was,
all right.
it's the ride and how that works is not as important as the experience you make it. So if you're just putting together a Himalaya ride and throwing, Nemo on the side, that ain't working. You've got to have that entire experience when you're waiting 5 hours in line to go sit on these teacup things, right? And you've got to have that experience. My daughter took my granddaughter.
It should tell you, almost tell you a story, the whole
as you're going through and doing
experience.
that stuff.
Yeah.
And they get it at some of the parks.
Look at that
There's a point to be made there. One of the things Disney has been doing recently is taking the thematic elements out of the waiting lines.
Yes.
And the best example I have is Disney Paris, believe it or not, where they decided that Space Mountain should be Jules Verne, A Trip to the Moon and Back.
Right.
And it was a steampunk version of Space Mountain that was fantastic for its theming from beginning to end.
Yeah.
And they replaced it with Star Wars, Disney Star Wars, and they took out, and this is the really weird part, they took out almost all of the Jules Verne theming of the waiting line, but not all of it. So there's still some randomly here and there, otherwise barren corridor, and it makes no sense. And that is a perfect
That's
metaphor.
the problem. It doesn't make any sense because you're going to need to update that.
Well,
Yes.
100%.
People don't understand the Jules Verne stuff anymore.
Well,
in a larger group, so you need to update it, but it has to make sense.
right.
Right. The roller coasters need to be unique. Right in the park, that needs to be unique. Those need to be signature. The log flume ride, the mechanics are the same, but it needs to be unique.
Yeah,
because
and
it's Disney.
That's why Space Mountain, or excuse me, not Space Mountain, Splash Mountain was the #1 attraction in Disney parks in the United States, whether it be in California or in Florida, #1 attraction. So instead of remaining the #1 attraction, what did they do?
They destroyed it.
They did. But real quick, I got to address this super fast. Captain Have Fun.
It's Captain Have Fun.
That's right. Says rumor outside Hollywood, but Iger has gotten close to Tim Cook. This isn't new information, my friend. I'm going to tell you, he's been close to Apple for a long time. He was on their board, so we'll start at that point. And then, so you're 100% right. He is close to Tim Cook in an attempt to ensure that Apple will buy part of Disney. They already have significant holdings in Disney. And bail them out if needed. Wouldn't be that hard. What they can't do is acquire them, because there will be significant antitrust issues that will pop up. Now, here's some inside baseball. At the time that Iger was not only chairman of the board of Disney and on the board over at Apple, they were both developing very similar, if not mirror image, video distribution platforms that we now call streaming. They were utilizing much the same technology and the same kind of look and feel and same kind of presentation. Now, there's a lot to be called into question during Iger's leadership. This is one of many things that would cross the line into conflict of interest or any of those other fancy words you would say for breaking the freaking law. So anyway, there's that. Sorry. Anyway, continue. When it comes to how to support your theme park, you have to have good product. Disney stopped making good product. When did Disney stop making good product? This is a question to any of you. When did they stop making good things? I just want to know.
2000.
1955.
I don't know. I've seen a couple of the Disney films within the past, say, 5 years, and a couple of them I thought were pretty good. But it was like
Encanto was quite good.
Yes, but it was like after Encanto, there's almost a demarcation, which they had already had this shift in attitude before then. But you could see, like, Moana is another one that I absolutely love. You could see in some of the films where they tried to pull that back, rein that in, and just put out a decent movie. But after that, I don't know what has happened. But I don't know what's in their Kool-Aid, what they're drinking, but it's confusing. Because now they are full steam ahead with this agenda that they have, and it doesn't look like that Titanic's going to turn around anytime soon.
Yeah. Well, they're not the only entity losing money. I mean, Randall here brings up the fact that Citadel lost about $200+ million. I mean, you have a lot of things that lose money along the way. These companies invest in things, and this is the problem with streaming services. There's no accountability. Because you can't account for any kind of profit that's directly tied to whatever expense you have. That's an entirely other conversation. But you're 100% right. With Disney, you can tie everything to a profit statement. Even if it's streaming, you can say, okay, you're $13 billion, balls deep in this streaming service, right? And you're continuing to spend $1 billion a quarter on it. Excuse me. And look, there's no profit coming out of Disney Plus anytime soon. I don't care what they say. 2024, we're gonna have profit. Not if you don't fire everybody. You gotta fire everybody.
You do, but there's a different problem to culture. Disney, because Iger's been there so long,
right?
Disney now has a corporate culture.
It's a bad one,
and it's a very bad one.
Yes.
You could fire everybody in the C-suite at Disney, and it wouldn't change the culture of the company anytime soon. And there's another one. There's another thing that's coming, which is obviously the where is it here? Hulu.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a sword of Damocles hanging over Disney right now, and that's the whole. What is it? An arbitration? The whole negotiation about Hulu?
Yeah. Well, yeah. They're going to have to arbitrate this price down to something that's reasonable. What? Here's the weird thing. I know this is. everybody that's reasonable know it's not true that Hulu's worth $70 billion. It's not worth the same as Fox. There's not enough content there, and Hulu's values in its content. The problem is the content on Hulu is too flexible, right? It's not outright owned. It's licensed, it's leased content. So Hulu's actual value isn't tangible. And so when you say Hulu's worth $70 billion, possibly, but only today. Because tomorrow, if NBC Universal decides to pull their content or not renew their contract with whoever the primary holder is of that streaming service, you just lost value in that service. So the only way Disney could possibly pay top dollar for Hulu would be if they were able to negotiate an infinitely long contract with NBC Universal. And that's not in NBC Universal's best interest. They want to put their stuff on their own streaming platforms because they have a fast platform and they have Peacock. Peacock has various levels that actually makes money. If you want to look at things that are profitable, you have to look at Netflix and some of the other fast services to find that. Disney doesn't possess a profitable model anywhere. So when you look at that and you say, okay, Disney wants to pay $9 billion for the third of the platform that Comcast owns, essentially all what they're telling you is the platform as it stands with all of its reach, with all of its infrastructure, is only worth $27 billion. That might be true. Comcast wants to tell you it's worth far more than that because of the value that's intrinsic to it because of its content. That content is fickle. That's the problem. So that's where we're stuck in negotiation, arbitration. Is it really worth that? No, it's worth maybe Disney should probably cough up. It's probably about $33 billion. Disney could cough up about $33 billion and actually realize some value there. But again, this is all, in the weeds, because do you know what Disney can't afford? $11 billion.
Right.
They can't. Somebody pointed out earlier in the chat, and I highlighted it, that Disney's operating capital, their cash and cash equivalents, can't rise to take care of this problem. They're going to have to go out and find money in other ways. They can't easily go out and find money in other ways. So that's where we're at. So I don't know if anybody else knows that, but that's what we're looking at.
Well, let's throw one more monkey wrench into Disney's problems right now, and that is that during the Peltz proxy fight, and Mexican Iron Man mentioned this recently on a stream, Iger promised shareholders a dividend by the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Now, whether that's fiscal year or calendar year, he can fudge. But even if it's end of the calendar year, well, then Iger's got until December 31st to come up with the money to issue a stock dividend to all the shareholders.
Yeah.
On top of all of the other financial woes that Disney's facing right now between the deal you just talked about over Hulu and all the other stuff, and Indy 5 and everything else, all their movies in the last year.
Real quick, and I want to give Brian a shot. I'm going to just say this. Valiant has talked about this. Pros talked about this. You're talking about this. It is a true statement. They have to find a way to reimburse humans for their investment in the company through the form of a dividend. 11 cents a share isn't going to be the number that anybody's looking for, most of all Peltz. What do you have to say there, Brian?
No, I was just going to say he may have promised him a dividend, but it could be, the sum could be 0.0. However, it's not just these big movies like Dial of Dysentery and so on that we've seen losing money. They've been pulling stuff off Disney Plus left, right, and center. I mean, they threw $54 million away on Crater, a science fiction movie made for Disney Plus that nobody watched, pulled after 7 weeks. I mean, that's not as a big a headline as $300 million, but it's still a big chunk of change for something virtually nobody watched and has now been pulled. And there's a few of those. Well, Willow was always a big example, of course, but they're just pulling stuff that cut $54 million Crater cost. Nobody had even heard of it, and it's gone. That's a lot of money they're throwing away.
these kind of production things are a crapshoot when you give it to people that have experience and capability. It's a crapshoot when you have the professionals doing it. When you get a bunch of people that are diversity hires or whatever you want to call them, that have no experience in this stuff, it's going to be, the percentages are naturally going to be worse. Right? What did Disney lost over $4 billion on a streaming service? They lost as much as they paid for the Star Wars films, and they haven't made their money back on the Star Wars films yet.
They're more in debt than what they paid.
They actually spent a fourth of what they paid for Star Wars just on The Force Awakens alone.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's the thing. Tom, tell them how much we now know, and this is why we never believed production budget. Tom, tell them what you know.
It was $533 million was the final tally on the budget for The Force Awakens. Now, fortunately, that movie, until Endgame came out, was the highest grossing film of all time, technically.
Okay.
Whatever asterisks you want to put there because of inflation.
Inflation.
All that kind of
it wasn't even close.
But for a soft tick of time, it definitely made its money back, and it was the highest grossing film. So that was an investment that was sound. What wasn't sound is you got to sit there and figure, now we're learning about all these other movies and what they're doing now in Hollywood. Here's the kicker. They are only telling us what the estimated budget is going into the film. They're not telling us what they actually cost when it's all said and done. But guys like Valiant and Pro and Culture and such have done a lot of great work in checking into like these tax breaks and stuff that they get into in the UK. And here's the thing is, over there they actually have to publicly put them out there, or they're publicly available, however you want to put it.
Yep.
They can't hide them in some way from the public.
And
so that's how we're finding out that the actual budgets for these films are much, much higher than what they're reporting.
Yeah, and that's the problem, is you won't really actually know the actual production budget until it finally makes its way through Companies House, which is the UK thing that actually is giving you all this information.
And that's a problem reporting to your stockholders.
Oh, you don't. See, that's the thing, is you're reporting as a division as a whole, and then, but not even really. You're reporting because they've commingled different departments together. Parks, products, and experiences are all looped together, and the different versions of, like, okay, we have a profit making center in these cable channels still, remarkably, that we're going to tie into other TV products, even though those aren't profitable. So we have these profit centers that are tied into these other things that are losing money. That's how they hide all this shit. But that's neither here nor there.
So question for you, Culture. You might know the answer to this. Sure. So all these tax breaks that companies like Disney get for, let's say they do a production in the UK and they get a tax break. What does that really mean? Does it mean that if they make a profit, they don't pay as much tax in it? Or is it some kind of cash handout? What do they really mean? These you see at the end of movies, Quebec tax, whatever, right? Vancouver tax, something, British Columbia, you see a lot of them.
Sorry. Go ahead, Tom. Go ahead,
Tom.
No, I mean, you might actually be able to explain it better than me thinking about it, because
go ahead.
Basically, they'll let's say, okay, you come up with, I'm going to make a movie. The budget I say is going to cost me X amount. Well, so then you'll have like a production manager who will go around and say, okay, well, your movie will cost $200 million to make in LA. It'll cost $150 if we go to Georgia and make it, because of the tax breaks we'll get there.
Right.
And it's much cheaper to shoot there because of the crews and this, that, and the other cost a lot less. So the amount of money they're paying out in taxes is less. And then usually the state themselves will give an incentive if they spend X amount. Then they get X amount back on their taxes.
Yeah, literally less. They literally are paying less tax to produce the movie in Georgia.
So that's an interesting question. So, Tom, literally, normally, you're right. I mean, normally a business pays taxes on its profits. If the state is taxing a movie studio for a production before it's even been released, it might never be released. They're going to film there. If they're getting a tax break, what are they getting a break for the tax on?
That's what I was wondering. I can never figure this out.
There are two different things that are happening. Yeah. There's two different things that are happening. You have abatement and inducement. And so, like in the case of the UK production, you're ending up with tax breaks on production expenses and all things that are purchased in a given territory. And then you have an inducement, which is bringing you into that area that will essentially allow you a certain ingratiated inducement amount that will essentially offset expenses that you're contributing. So in the case of, let's say, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, the only way that film made a profit is on the tax of the UK people, because it essentially had an inducement or essentially a savings, either or a combination of both.
Could be both, yeah.
Exactly. That was $54.5 million. If they hadn't received the abasement or inducement, they would have basically accumulated a $4 million loss on the production of the film. None of that makes any sense unless you're in finance.
Well, so I guess you go to the UK, you're paying 20% on all VAT and all products and services. I guess they're basically saying the UK government, you're not going to pay that 20%. We're going to give that back to you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but there is no way that Multiverse of Madness made any money, which, by the way, Multiverse of Madness was reportedly the only film that made any kind of a profit in phase 4. And yet the only way it made profit was on the backs of the tax of the people in the UK. How's that feel? Not great. So, yeah. So real quick, I want to go back real quickly to the first subject matter. And it's one of the things that something. So we've been talking about something bad, which is what's happening with Disney. I want to talk about something good and the things that surround it, because Tom has shared with us, the pro argument to what's happening versus the anti argument. Now, we all know that during the course of Sound of Freedom, you have the mainstream media that's attacking the film. You have Rolling Stone intentionally attacking the film. And this is all despite the fact that they have done some very wonderful investigative reporting prior to 2016. From 2016 forward, every single thing that's come out of mainstream media has to be considered suspect. And Tom, I'm going to share this and you can present it, please.
All right, yeah, this is from 2014, Melissa tape.
All those cameras and everything else.
Conspiracy didn't happen.
Never happened.
When you see the film, footage from the actual sting operation that took place is at the end of the film.
Yeah.
This film is worth
that
the
same
price.
Footage they show here in this news clip, actually.
And that's the thing.
But the Guardian said this didn't happen.
Yeah, and so did Rolling Stone and all these other asshats. Because if you look at it,
what?
Yeah, no, I'm serious.
The Rolling Stone. Oh my God! Stop reading the Rolling Stone.
Yeah,
Arwen. There are 3 different publications that all said essentially this is QAnon adjacent. It's conspiracy theory.
Paranoid.
I think we're up to 4 or 5 now, but actually,
I don't understand. Okay, but how can if you have actual footage and it is a documented event, it's something that happened. You have the people that are still living that has happened to.
Because the people in charge are participating.
They have a modeling agency.
You're right.
They target them at 9 or.
But okay, so here in the movie, they make the deal for $100,000.
Yeah, it was way more money.
Even though in real life, that's how much these kids' lives were worth to these people, was $25,000 fucking dollars.
And look,
you wonder why I will never go to a Disney park.
This is one of the.
They sat on this for how long?
Oh, 5 years.
5 years.
Almost 5 years.
Yeah. They could have even buried it on Hulu.
Stop going to Disney parks. You are supporting things you shouldn't.
Can't argue with that.
Anyway, it's almost over. Let's
Clay.
Touch their hand. And
it messes you up.
See that there's liberation now.
Liberating one child at a time.
E-Clay puts out there, I got brainworms. Yes, that's the shit that frickin' Rolling Stone put out there in their title for their article. This is how desperate they are for you not to know what's actually happening in the world. By the way, this video immediately hit my channel well, I'm not this one that we're doing right now, which will definitely happen. But when I did the video review on this is the moment that my channel ceased growing, and that video got locked down. Nobody watched the review that I did on the film. So did I know that was going to happen? Of course. Did it happen? Yes. Is this information they don't want you to have? Of course.
Why is it today that it seems children, or more specifically, the plight of children, is the sacrificial lamb on the altar? I don't it seems like anytime anybody comes out with this crappy stuff is happening to kids, whether it's something like this that has happened, whether they're being trafficked, whether they're being targeted by, agenda groups, whatever. Why are people so adverse to looking at it, instead turning a blind eye and then saying, oh, well, that has to be, they have their own agenda?
Well,
no, it is kids. I don't care what side of the
Marwin,
political
I just want to
spectrum
say,
you fall in.
exactly.
We should all be concerned about kids.
No, I agree 110%. And here's the other side of it, though. Normally, people like this, the elite would just want to turn a blind eye to it because they just don't want to admit that it exists. Here's the problem here. The elite are the fucking problem. Who can afford to pay this kind of money for people? The elite. Who are the ones that are having these wacky fucking pedo parties? The elite. Who are the ones that are keeping this movie down? The elite. And as the weekend goes on, we're starting to learn more and more. And I'm getting to the point where you can call it a conspiracy theory all you want. You can throw QAnon this, that, and the other. If you are a normal human being and if you look at the media, the way that they're doing this, especially that CNN report, my God. Like, if you mentioned there was only a couple, there's up to like 5 of them so far, and the CNN report is like the creme de la creme.
Shouldn't be watching CNN
Oh
anymore.
my God, no! But just the shit they're saying is like, if at this point, if you can't take one look at this or hear what they're saying in those TV broadcasts and not go, they're so full of fucking shit that I can't even fucking take this anymore. They have really gone off the deep end. Like, whatever you want to nuke the fridge, jump the shark, whatever it is, that line, they have done fucking crossed it now at this point. And that's what I've been saying the last few days about this movie, and I think it is a big deal. Like, I have this feeling in my gut right now that this might be one of those movies where 20 years from now we talk about that it was one of the turning points because it was a clear demarcation of where you go, what kind of fucking sick individual do you have to be to not just say, look, I didn't care for the movie. That's fine. Ain't nobody gonna fucking say shit to you. But if you're sitting there going, it's QAnon conspiracy theory, you are fucking insane. And you need your fucking head checked. And you also need your fucking internet history looked at. And we'd like to see your hard drives too while we're at it. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, we have found the pedo here. That's where I'm at with this shit. Because if you clearly have seen this movie and do the type of reviews that The Guardian, that the fucking Rolling Stones have done, and talk about this movie and the individuals involved the way that CNN has done and Washington Post has done, you need your fucking head checked, and those individuals should be under the surveillance of the FBI or whatever organization we can trust anymore right fucking now, because this is just insane. I cannot believe we're having this conversation. Right?
I agree, Tom.
Never in a million years did I think we could sit here and go, oh, we got a movie about child trafficking. It's a QAnon conspiracy. We got the video. The guys who believe it, they're drinking, they're talking about drinking babies and blood and all this crazy stuff. It's like, and you think this shit doesn't fucking happen? He has sit there and talked about the actual baby farms this man has busted.
Yes.
Yep.
And you know what
the fuck
else
do you think they're for?
Yeah.
There's something else going on, Tom.
Ago, everybody could get on board with that. 20 years ago, it didn't matter if you were Republican, if you were Democrat, if you were Libertarian, Independent. No, but you're right on it. You are
right.
And people
But there's one other thing going on.
Yeah, this is wrong. But nowadays,
what's besides the protectors of the status quo in the media, like The Guardian, the Washington Post, the Rolling Stone. The other thing is the problem, and this movie may be breaking through this, which I hope it does, is what has long been called normalcy bias. The expectation that things will always be normal. And that when you hear something totally outrageous and off the wall, like 3 million children a year or 30 million children a year are being trafficked around the world, whatever the number is, it's a massive number. And most people just that can't be right.
What we learn in the movie is that this is quickly replacing the drug trade.
It is. Yep. And it has been. It has been.
There's more people in slavery now than when it was fucking legal.
And
yes,
and this is look, this has been a growing problem for a long time since I've been on YouTube and other various platforms. This is something I've talked about. It's something I've tried to bring recognition to. It's something that
Elon Musk bought Twitter and cleaned that up.
And exactly. I mean, Elon came on and tried to clean it up. There's still some really bad stuff that happens, like subtly, but you still end up in a situation where the NGOs, now mind you, I don't trust NGOs a whole lot, but they're going to let you know that there's more than 100 million people that are existing in some form of forced situation, and I'm going to put it in those terms, and it's not something we can deal easily with. And I highlight people all the time in the chat when we're going through it, but I'm going to say it this way. This is something that should have been well past us in a civilized society, whether it be here in the United States or globally. If anybody wants to portray themselves as better than the situation that we're existing in right now, they better march to the table and show me that they don't have this kind of a problem. And the fact that this exists in the United States to the tune of a multi-billion-dollar industry right now, and it's being largely, if not completely, ignored by our quote-unquote mainstream media, then you know what? This is not the society that we should have or should be a part of in this United States of America. And it calls into question all of the enforcement arms, and of course all of the people that are supposedly writing the laws on this particular matter. And if we are not good enough to protect the most vulnerable, which would be those that are the youngest among us, the children, then as a society, we cannot call ourselves as such. We're not a society.
No, we're not. You're right.
Well, Brave New World. You read Brave New World, and the reason they're trying to get that book banned from having kids read it is this is the wall they break down.
Yeah.
They break down this wall in that book. And that's how they control society, because they get the kids early, and they brainwashed them.
Well, and
thank God there are still good people in this world willing to put their lives on the line.
No, Tom.
I hope I got no more than just demonetized, if anything.
Dude, this show's always demonetized. But what I want to say, what I want to say to you, Tom, is thank you for being here. I know you have to leave.
Well, I do got to go watch a bunch of Mission Impossible.
That's right. Hey, you know what? You're going to enjoy it. You're now past 2.
Yep.
So you've got 3, 4, 5, and then you'll be up with most everybody. And then you'll get to the good stuff.
You say so.
I promise.
You're building it up. So I think I might get at least 2 in tonight. I don't know. Maybe I got to get more than 2.
Oh, and then you and I have to talk. There's a thing that we got to do. So.
Wow.
It's always good to do a thing.
It scares me.
Not how we
that
make
thing
babies.
you
You
do.
need a woman for that. I keep telling him this.
Now go do that.
I don't know. We
voodoo.
saw the video with the way you handled that wood, Tom, against cultures.
These are my friends. But look, the chat's been on fire all night. I feel like I've ignored them. Tom, I know you need to go. Tell everybody why you're doing what you do and why you're a raving lunatic.
Because I love pop culture and media and all that business, and you can find me on the morning show tomorrow. I think the plan is we're going to do a late stream tomorrow night. I don't think there will be a Toxic Femme either tomorrow night because Mikey and I are both going to see Mission Impossible. Sadly, I don't think Culture gets to see it until Tuesday.
Yeah, dick.
But I think there's a few other people who are going tomorrow night who might be joining us. So, yeah.
Dick!
We'll see how that rolls. Other than that, see you on the morning show, hopefully. But yeah, I need to go eat and watch the Mission Impossible.
All right. Do you have a thing here with the stuff and conversation?
What? Is there
Read the
super
screen.
chat? Oh, bravo, Tom, says Rogue Thought. Never apologize for passionate sanity. Thank you, everyone in this stream. No, I was more or less apologizing for your eardrums. Other than that, yeah.
Tom yells.
Well, Tom,
my eardrums are fine. Thanks, Tom.
Yeah, Tom, I love you long time.
You better.
See you tomorrow, Tom.
I pay for the full package.
That's right. All right. Go away. Go away now.
See you guys in a
Cheers, buddy.
Be seeing you, Tom.
Real quick, couple more chats and super chats came in. Ion Faces Haunted Mansion. Yes, that's what Disney thinks going to save them. I know.
Again.
Yeah, we've got wow, this is a cool name. A Racing 74 for $9.99 or Arison. There we go. I did better. $9.99 says great panel with the upcoming writers' strike. Could a great movie like Dune make more money next year? Or are there financial obligations that make this impossible? Okay. My answer to this is if in a contract, all it requires is a theatrical release, it may not matter unless it's specifically written into a release date period, whether or not it releases in a given year or maybe later. I would, and this is what I would do. I would push this movie back into a window where it has no competition, which is going to be real soon. Because 2024 is going to suck. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Not going to suck if you watch. Not going to suck if you're into Korean movies, but
okay. Try again. American tentpoles. Go ahead, Arwen.
No, I mean, do you mean like it's going to suck because of the writer's strike in general? Like, or in general?
Yeah, no. I mean, there won't be anything to release. Is my point. I mean, there'll be very little out there in the world. I mean, you're going to get Falcon and Winter Bullshit version 2.
It's going to compound all their money problems even more. I mean, it's just going to keep adding to their woes.
I've got a crazy idea, Culture.
Okay.
If the studios, Disney, Warner Brothers, any of these, were to go back into their back catalogs, movies they've already released, but were really well received, and they used to show on late night television because late night television wanted a movie to show on the Wednesday night movie or something.
Yeah.
And they just started releasing, kind of like movies like Star Wars, Indiana Jones.
They used to do that in the past. I mean, they used to get movies would be recirculated for years. Yeah.
I would love to go to a theater, an HD theater, and watch Casablanca.
Oh God, yeah.
I've never seen that movie outside of a television screen. I would love to see some of these classic movies in a theater. If you've got a writer strike and an actor strike and nobody's making anything, well, why don't you release some of the stuff you used to make that was actually good?
And
then 2024 could be pretty cool.
For all those,
but if they don't, you're right. It's going to suck.
For all those who've never seen those movies on the big screen and a huge screen with great sound.
Okay, I've had the rare privilege of seeing something like Ben-Hur on the big screen, right? I've seen some of these major epics, and I don't think people have seen them appropriately. Like if you see oh my gosh, frankly, Scarlet, I don't give a damn.
Gone with the Wind.
Yeah. The minute you see that, right? Or Rosebud. Cinnamon Kane. Citizen Kane.
Cinnamon Kane. Would be
okay, that is now officially Legion of Memers Unite. Cinnamon Kane is now a meme.
Oh,
shit. Can that be my burlesque name?
Think
Cinnamon
of like Lawrence of
Ladies and
Arabia.
gentlemen, coming to the stage, Cinnamon Kane.
All right. Well,
but yeah, Lawrence of Arabia, all these big.
That's Cinnamon with 3 K's, 2 I's, and a Y. Be sure to bring your dollars for Cinnamon Kane.
That's gonna be Fox. Okay, you guys don't even understand.
Oregano Wells.
He wrote this down. He time stamped it. It's going to end up on a culture in a comics division special show. It's gonna be very, very bad for me. But anyway, Arison or Arakin.
Arwen Evelyn stars as Cinnamon Kane undercover.
I'm gonna jump off a building. The Atlantean for $2.
Culture Casino dropped off a building, but Cinnamon Kane to the rescue.
Look,
Culture, land on my gigantic breasts. I will catch you.
Go ahead, Culture. You were saying something.
Atlanteans,
Culture was saying that he enjoys watching Cinnamon Kane.
So now we're going to do other movies with herbs in the title.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be the night theme of the night.
Hey, Atlantean.
Land on my
It's Disney's remake of The Godfather starring Cinnamon Kane.
The chat's just absolutely destroying me right now. I didn't do anything to you.
Cinnamon Kane, that's the best one.
I didn't do it. It's an excellent idea. Thank you. Oh,
but yeah, all these your point is valid though. All these great movies, these big widescreen movies like Cleopatra and Lawrence of Arabia. Many people wouldn't understand what made those movies so great. They might have seen them on a little TV. Gonna see them in the cinema.
Ladies and gentlemen, next up to the stage, it's Destiny Cleopatra.
Destiny. Dial of Destiny, Cleopatra.
Dial of Cleopatra's Destiny.
Candy cane.
Pasties and all.
Candy cane.
Candygram for Mungo.
Oh, good Lord.
Candygram for Cinnamon Kane.
Peppermint Kane's the third film in this series. Oh my God. Look, I'm going to tell you right now, Jennifer Lawrence.
Cinnamon's daughter, Chastity Kane.
I was just having a young Frankenstein moment. Where did all this come from?
Putting on the Ritz.
Destiny.
I used to have the chat on my side. I don't know what happened. I'm getting destroyed.
Mel Brooks is proud to announce Cinnamon Kane to star in Bride of Young Frankenstein.
Darius Munchausen likes me. He sent me a super sticker. It's a it's not a candy cane. Thank goodness.
Rosemary's Baby. I'm Cinnamon Kane for Culture's Weaves.
Rosemary's Baby. That's what you got.
Look, it's a wonderful pair character that's doing some weightlifting. I need to do that because if I get to 10K, I need to be a little bit more fitter. Speaking of more fitter, Captain Have Fun says, I don't know why they don't take a few scripts off the shelf that have been in development hell.
Like this one?
Yeah. I mean, arguably, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destitution was in production hell for a long time. And and they still went the wrong way. Lester San Jose for $7. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate your support. Says late, but right on time for Tom's Passion. Love it. I just got back from Song of Freedom. The only buzzkill was that the theater staff stopped the movie. Stop the movie for seats. I don't know what that means.
Do they still seat people now? Like, was the theater full and somebody came in and they had to go looking for seats for them?
I know that they've been fighting with this bologna sausage AC problem in the theaters that are only showing Sound of Freedom. By the way, that's a real thing. It's actually been happening, especially and particularly in AMC theaters.
Switching the AC off,
which tells me an awful lot. Goodness, these are my friends. Darius Munchausen for $2 says the cinnamon cane must flow.
Flow. I'm dead.
Why? Lester's being good. Lester for $7 is being good, talking about Sound of Freedom. You guys are killing me for Cinnamon Cane right now.
It's all about the cinnamon cane, y'all.
But look, Lester, I look, I'm sorry that happened. I really hope that doesn't happen in the future. I think the more we point it out, the more it's no longer a conspiracy theory, but hey, I could be wrong. Yeah, cinnamon cane must flow. Thank you for that. Oh, Darius. Jen Wong, who's been doing some art for me that you guys will all appreciate here in the very near future, says for an Australian $2, spin-off series to Cinnamon Cane, Candy Strippers.
Dead.
Strippers would be better. Candy Strippers.
Why?
Oh, we have a whole lore going now about Cinnamon Cane.
Cinnamon Cane. That's got to be in the next Dick's Division special that we do.
you writing this down?
Oh, there was a whole series of movies in the 1970s, the whole candy exploitation films that Cinnamon Kane was in. And, yeah. Along with Chocolate Cleopatra.
Chocolate Cleopatra is amazing, by the way. I think that's the best thing that comics has ever come up with. But
I hear she shaved her chocolate.
Wow. So it's hardwood chocolate? Anyway, that's 70s
I believe
rock
that Chocolate Cleopatra got the hardwood. Yeah, I believe so.
That 70s rock fan for a Canadian $2 says, can we do movies about time travel?
Cinnamon Kane stars in a new movie, Time Travel.
Time Cop.
Oh, sugar, you're so funny.
Cinnamon Kane stars in that heartwarming story,
honey,
Strippers
honey.
Across Time.
You are my candy girl.
Not Without My Weave, starring Cinnamon Kane.
Hey,
Without my weave.
as long as my favorite actor Pepper is in it, we're good to go.
Pepper Shakes? Yeah, Pepper Shakes is great.
In big trouble.
It's better than Pepper Flakes. She spent a lot of time in padded rooms.
Not Without My Weave. That's
you guys crushing it tonight. Our rate specialist for $1.99 says, is Cinnamon Kane Culture's stripper name?
No. Culture's stripper name is Wanda Weaveson. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up to the stage, it's wonderful Wanda.
Weave some.
Weaveson.
I think licorice stick would be Culture's stripper name.
So like Thompson is in Thatcher, and those kind of stuff, and Eric's son, Thompson is Tom's son, that stuff. Weaveson is Weave's son.
It makes
he is
sense.
son of Weave. Yeah.
You son of a weave.
Culture Casino. And Cinnamon Kane. I can't even say it now. Cinnamon Kane.
Coriander Casino.
I just think there should be a spin-off called Crush and Red Pepper.
Crush and Red Pepper. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
That's right.
All right. Wow, you guys are killing me tonight. Mephitic miasma. Wow, that's a lot of words. For $5 says, to quote a lady from Iceland, you live in dread of the day they give you your nickname. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I have many. I have a very many much. I have a lot of them. Stop.
It's your muchness. It's your
Hammer
muchness
time.
culture.
That's a good one. Hammer time.
Oh my God.
Harry Super.
Culture Casino and Cinnamon Kane in the MC Hammer store.
Weaving Las Vegas.
Weaving Las Vegas.
I'm actually headed up there. Wait. You joke, but guess where I'm headed on for Friday night for Saturday. I'm going to Vegas. I'm going to be live with the SNP boys up there.
Spider-Man
He's a YouTuber with a mane of glory.
True story.
She's a hairdresser from the Strip. Cinnamon Kane and Culture Casino.
Weavable.
In Weaving Las Vegas.
Oh.
Well, at least
nice
that one's consistent with the lore because I do make magic beers. So there you go.
He makes magic beer.
Rob Altus for $2 says, Culture, we are your friends. Thanks.
We are your friends.
With friends like these.
Yeah, who needs an enemies? Wait, that's a terrible joke.
Cinnamon Kane, Culture Casino. In the new horror film about Sasquatch weaving my back hair.
What's happening now? Look, Liger fans with me. This is a safe space. Okay, fair enough. So this stays between all of us, guys. We're just gonna keep it here.
All of us and the entire internet. Yes. Give Weave a chance.
Cinnamon don't want me to be live somewhere. I will be live with the salty.
Hey, I'm not talking about Cinnamon leaving any kind of snails trails of spice or anything like that. Yeah.
I'm going to be live with the Salty Nerd Podcast boys in their Vegas studio, so it'll be a good time.
Oh boy, snooze fest.
Thanks.
Was the mic on?
Wait, it's fine. That's fine. Hello to the Twitters, and to the people on the Rumbles and the Odysseys. I know for whatever reason, nothing's working on my end as far as chat goes. So the only thing I got is StreamYard. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah.
I get a cat turn up a bag of
Cinnamon
catnip, so I
cane
may end up.
crunch. Ron Martin says cinnamon cane crunch. Thank you for that.
I like
Weave
that.
heart. That's a good one. Weave heart.
Wait, autocorrect is my enema, Mr. Shirt.
That is a problem.
No.
Cinnamon cane apparently is the
goddamn autocorrect.
That's right. Yeah. Thank you, Bones. Yeah. Empress NM says cinnamon cane is the 13th Spice Girl. Yeah. True story.
Slutty was my favorite Spice Girl.
Pantene Casino. That's a better nickname. I like that one. Let's do that.
You would.
Baramable says this won't stay between us. I heard it all, and I'll make sure it lives on tomorrow night. Great.
Cinnamon cane or Weaving Las Vegas?
Weaving Las Vegas.
Lion King. What's up, Lion King? Says Culture Casino and Cinnamon Cane in the movie Weaving Las Vegas. Thank you. The lovely Daisy Blossom, who I adore, says, warning, Vegas is horribly hot right now, Culture Casino. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'll be all right. Culture of Olay. Really, Adam? Or Josh, excuse me. E. Clay Thomason sends me a super chat for $2. George Jefferson's nickname is
Weavy.
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 Oh.
Weavy. Moving on up, Weavy. I'm sorry.
Yep.
I'm sorry. It's just
Now that would
funny.
That one landed.
Yeah.
Thanks, E. Clay.
Weaving on up.
Southern Belle.
Moving on up.
Southern Belle sends me $2 and says, never gonna weave you behind.
Oh my God, I nearly choked on a cracker.
Never gonna weave you up. Never gonna weave you down.
I'm weaving on.
Never gonna weave around and weave you. Never gonna
If
make
you weave me
weave
now, you take away.
away the greatest part of me.
70, stop stealing my lines.
Sorry, man.
I'm dead.
Liger fan wants to nominate Loom as my nickname.
Fruit of the
Why?
loom, perhaps.
All right.
Root of my wombs.
Okay. Look, we've gone on a long
Cinnamon
time.
cane stars in a story of a lifetime.
Black
Root
weave
of my
down.
wombs.
I finally found the
A merkin for cinnamon.
Merkin.
Oh my God.
spice of a lifetime. You're not winning friends, Christopher Dominguez. Culture Weave 600. Thank you.
You know, in order to create a Twitter account, you have to follow somebody. And the thing, it's giving me JB Pritzker, Joe Biden. There's nobody on here. I want it.
Me.
I can't select that. I have to go through their list, and I haven't even gotten through the horrible leftists yet.
Oh, yeah, but Joe Biden is a great follow. It's good for the comic relief.
I don't follow him, but he ended up on my circle. My
How does that
Twitter
happen? I don't
circle.
want to follow Barack Obama.
I'm like, what is Biden doing on my Twitter circle? I don't. What?
Okay. Real quick.
CNN breaking news. What the hell is that?
Here's
Kamala Harris. Hillary Clinton.
Well, that is not breaking.
Follow Hillary Clinton or die.
That's breaking salad bowl of word salad. Hang on a minute, though. We have a very serious one from our good friend, Philip M. And I'm going to highlight myself here to say, for $30, it would be better for him if wow, this is straight from the film, by the way. If you guys have seen Sound of Freedom, this is right from the film. This is a quote in the film. It would be better for him if a millstone were hung around his neck and he were thrown into the sea than that he should offend one of these little ones. Luke 17:2.
And that's in the film.
Yep.
It's in the film, and it's an interesting. The timing of it is very appropriate, and it makes a lot of sense. And the person he's talking to, which is the degenerate scum of the earth, by the way, doesn't understand the reference. Just doesn't get it.
Neither would anybody at Rolling Stone.
You really wouldn't. And
it's interesting. The BBC this movie hard, just as one of the presenters was being done for offenses.
I got a video on that tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, talk about
that's video number 1 with a bullet tomorrow morning. If you guys want to know what's happening at the BBC at the same time that they're attacking this film,
attacking this movie, because
irony,
nothing like this has ever happened.
Yeah, the irony is thick, palpable.
You mean wait a minute, 70s in culture. You mean the BBC is having a Jimmy Savile redo moment?
A Jimmy Savile do-over. Yeah.
It is not good.
No.
It is not good.com. And the chances are the 4 people that are coming out denying it, one of them is the guy. So check that out. The video's out tomorrow. But because I haven't played a clip all night, and there have been so many generous people, and of course Philip M here regularly, I have to play a clip. I just want to say thank you very much. You guys are amazing. Thank you for the cheddar. You guys are incredible.
Oh, man, that's some sweet cheddar. Guys. Yeah.
And I hope that helps out everybody who contributed. I haven't been doing clips at all tonight because we were having such a sparkling conversation, which doesn't happen very often. $4.99 saying Culture Casino and the Cinnamon Cane in Return of the Weave.
Dun, 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 dun. It's a weave.
The Fellowship
dun, dun,
of the
dun.
Weave.
We all know it's a weave. Dun, 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 dun. It's a weave. It's a weave. It's fake. We all know it. Dun, 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 dun.
It could have been Lord of the Rings reference.
Dun, 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 dun. Cinnamon Cane does a lap
Return of the Weave.
dance on Culture.
Fellowship of the Weave.
The Fellowship of the Weave.
Fellowship of the Weave.
Darius Munchausen for $2. He likes me. Says variety is the cinnamon cane of life.
So Lord of the Cock Rings, Fellowship of the Weave. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, I don't know where that came from, but okay. Woo, let's just throw it all out there and see what hits the wall.
Joe Kane.
That's actually Cinnamon Kane's most watched video is Let's Throw It All Out There.
Well, hey, Joe Kane is the leader of the free world right now. Speaking of which, Southern Belle for $2 says Weavy 5 and Cinnamon Cane and the Road Rash.
The Road Rash.
Oh, that rash and Cinnamon Cane got did not come from the road. I can tell you that.
Cinnamon Cane and the Road Rash is going to be the next Mel Gibson movie.
That sounds like an unfortunate, what do you call them? Not roadie. Yeah. Anyway, horseradish power.
Kane and the virus that doesn't go away.
Also true. Horseradish power for £2 sterling. That's proper money, kids. BBC. Yes. Philip Schofield 2.0 ex BBC presenter. Oh,
listen, and many years ago, there was a very well-known BBC presenter called Jill Dando, who was murdered, and they've never solved this murder to this day. But she was supposedly investigating such offences within the BBC, and then next minute she's executed on her doorstep. So,
good grief.
Darius Munchausen says BBC is having a Savile Row. No, that's kind of Tony. That is not the BBC. The BBC is not Tony anymore. Not at all. Tony's a fancy word, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize. I won't do that again. Horseradish power for another £2 sterling says also Rolf Harris recently died. Another ex-BBC. BBC. Yeah, I have a really hard time with BBC saying that because then I'm thinking of like the wonderful show that Az and Gary do and not anything else.
That stands for Big Bad Cinnamon Cane.
Dermy Wormy for $2 says Legion of Weavers. Is that my fan club, Dermy?
It is now.
Captain America: The First Weave. Thank you, Josh. Nick, you have the link. Come in here and say that, and then I will kick you off the stream. Wait, I did that already. All
Culture. You should monetize that. Legion of Weavers should be $100 a month.
Oh, you know what? That's a great idea. Legion of Weavers. You get free reign to meme me with the weave. That doesn't sound good. I don't like that idea.
I found Cinnamon Kane's first starring movie.
Oh no.
Oh, an oldie but a goodie.
Mm-hmm. So very true.
Thank you to Liger Fan for reminding me about that one.
You listen to contemplated.
Cinnamon Kane has a uncredited cameo in that movie.
That's right. Underneath Culture's kilt, I believe.
That's right.
Yeah.
E. Clay Thomason helps me out. Says weave culture alone.
Yeah.
Why?
Salty nerd and
Leave
Cinnamon
him alone.
Kane.
Just why? Southern Belle for $2 says just call me the angel. Oh, the morning weave. Oh my God. You ruined a great song.
What?
Well, thanks for the $2.
Genie's out of the bottle now.
It rates specials for $1.99. It says Cinnamon Cane and the BBC eggplant.
Yes.
Fair enough.
You haven't had eggplant until it's
America's
spiced with
next
cinnamon
top
cane.
weave. What is wrong with you people?
Oh, it's been spiced
Weave
by
of the
Cinnamon
world.
Cane.
What are you doing?
I'm cooking.
Some of these don't
Cooking
make
this
sense.
eggplant in cinnamon cane oil. What?
Horseradish Power for £2 sterling says Dando presented Crime Watch. Shot on her door.
That's
Holy
right.
shoot.
Good
That's
lord,
what we're
really?
talking about. She was shot on her doorstep, and they've never solved that crime. They convicted somebody for it, and then released them years later and said they hadn't done it. Still unsolved to this day, and she was supposedly investigating the subject we've been talking about in the show Crime Watch, with the BBC being part of the investigation. Her own corporation that she was in. She was also a devout Baptist, but she was murdered on her doorstep. And
Yeah, I don't really
who
believe in
knows?
coincidences. That's
Yes,
kind
who
of that's
knows?
one of those freaky moments that makes you sit back and go,
and the authorities have
connect the
never
dots.
never solved it.
That's awful.
Mm.
Wow.
Things that make you go.
She was a lovely
weave.
woman.
Southern Belle for $5 says thank you. Southern Belle says, I beg your pardon. I never promised you
a
weave.
garden.
Well,
and when we get behind closed, we.
Why?
The
E.
Weaver
Clay
Man.
Thomason at least brings it back to my hashtag. OMG TBBC. That's not my hashtag.
Well, what in addition to that one,
cinnamon.
look at what Chester Bennington, Anthony Bourdain, and Chris Cornell all have in common.
Researching and getting ready to expose very bad behavior.
Yes, and they all self-deleted.
Possibly, but we got Horseradish Power here for $2 saying the BBC is a cesspool. Yes, has been for decades.
Yep.
Yes, and it's run by people who are bottom feeders.
And there's another thing.
Ask Jeremy Clarkson.
The Guardian is equally as bad. And the only place in print that the BBC advertises for new staff is in the Guardian.
Yep, that's no surprise.
No surprise.
No sense. Jin Wong, my buddy from Australia, says for Passover, culture eats unweaven bread.
No.
The joke was very unweaven.
I've heard the weave hasn't risen in a long time.
Talks.
What?
Manhood?
Unweaven bread. It doesn't rise.
Manhood?
Oh, well, I'm not talking about that. When you have such a dirty mind. You probably think Cinnamon Kane is a stripper.
Burlesque.
Horseradish Sparrow for £2 sterling says Seville was good friends with King Charles too. Oh, really?
Speaking of burlesque, King Charles.
Well, yeah. I mean, we've seen him in that mesh bikini thing, right?
Yeah.
Yo's.
You only weave twice.
King Charles, like the new King Charles, like the one recently crowned King Charles.
Well, speaking of crowned king, that's really good noodles. Anyway, all right, we got Rob Altus for $2 saying, "We've only just begun to weave."
We've only just begun to weave.
Thanks, Rob. Appreciate it.
The weave is not enough.
That's a good one. Silent Weave, yes. Silent Running is a great film. Silent Weave, I don't know. But thanks.
Don't get me started on that movie.
Risky weaveness? Bro, risky weaveness. Okay, I like that. Risky business. Okay. The 10 weave commandments. You guys are on fire.
Who weaved me?
Leave it to Weaver.
I love
that. Yes, that's a classic. Right there.
Leave it to Weaver.
That's a good one.
A View to a Weave. Okay, I'll give you that. That's a good Bond film. Wait. When I think about your weave, I think about
you, I weave myself. That's what you say.
That's really unokay. That's not okay. Super Weave, the quest for cinnamon. Okay,
I like that one.
Ooh,
yeah,
I do too.
That's good. That's good.
What is
Romancing the Weave?
For your weave only. Okay. Weave are the champions, my friends. Thank you, Jay Price.
In Her Majesty's Secret Weave.
Saturday Night Weaver. Thank you.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. That was the opening scene of that when that weave is walking down the street.
All right.
Wow,
story from where were we recently? Texas?
We're in Dallas. Yes.
Yeah. Cryam says silent but weavy. Hey, Tox. I warned you. Okay.
Yeah, you did warn us, but it didn't matter.
It did. All you had to do was leave the room. You
didn't leave the room. You walked down 2 steps. It was an open room. You walked down 2 steps towards the front door. You maybe were 5 feet away from me.
And I said, you probably are going to want to leave the room right now. And that was
you technically you said, I'm sorry for this.
Did you say I'm going
that
to
is
weave?
What you said.
Did you say you're going to weave the room right now?
That's what I thought. He was going to weave the room.
But you're leaving things out. I'm sorry for this, but you need to leave the room. I know I added that. It was a caveat.
Are you saying that I'm weaving through the story?
Yes.
Okay.
I think you're pulling at threads in your story.
There's actually a movie called.
Well, thank God I didn't pull your finger. Jesus, that was awful.
Culture, are you trying to weave a tail?
No. Oh, hold on. There you go.
God. Look, I tell people, look, I didn't make it outside. This might be a good time to find your way elsewhere, because otherwise, you might. You
didn't attempt to go outside.
I did.
I went down 1 step.
I went 2. You just said 2. This story.
Yeah, 2 before you said anything.
Cinemonsters Inc. That's a good one.
Well, culture is nothing if not considerate.
I tried. Southern Belle for $2 says Garden of Weave, Kane of and Weave, Temptation
Garden.
Wow.
In the Garden of Weave and Evil.
Wow.
I was just thinking that.
You know, there was that 70s and 80s Daredevil guy, Weevil Knievel.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow. Even the Beatles had one. She's weaving home.
That's right, they did.
She's weaving home.
Well, they did. Their big hit was "I Want to Hold Your Weave."
If weaving me is easy.
Okay, and Punk Bottle's right. This was a split level. There were multiple places available. Could have fleed.
Split level that had no walls. It didn't matter. I was sitting. I was laying on the couch, half asleep. You mumbled something, and then the devil's anus attacked me. That's what happened. I was asleep, and I tasted it, and it woke me up.
You know, that's been banned by the Geneva Conventions.
Yes, gas attacks have been. If I'd have known I needed a level 3 mustard gas attack thing from World War One, I would have had it. Oh, it was awful. It was Yingling gas is what it was.
You have to learn how to sleep with your mouth closed. That's all.
The guy said, I did. It came in through my nose, and it's goddamn.
The mouth isn't the problem.
I just remember the look on your wife's face, that horrible resignation to this has been my whole life. I've seen that. And it's like, I know, she loves you. Obviously, she loves you.
Inagata de Weaver.
Inagata de Weaver? Yeah. The Empire Weaves Back, one of my favorite films.
You weave your lover.
Star Trek II, The Weave of Khan.
Just slip it in the back, Jack.
Mm-hmm.
If you
leave me Star Trek V, The Undiscovered Weave. Yeah. Close Encounters of the Weave kind.
Or what is wrong with you guys? Derby Worry for $2 says, Pretty Weaver. Dun, 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 dun.
Cinnamon Kane was in that.
She was, actually. I appreciated Cinnamon Kane's performance.
You need to show the meme I sent. I think it's relevant to this conversation. The one I tweeted.
I feel like
did you tweet something at me? Yeah. I'm not really paying attention to that stuff anymore.
We're gonna have to go to memes soon. I feel
There's
like
not as two.
Oh, it's only 2 memes. Well, you guys suck. I mean, okay,
now it's a lot of effort to make this meme
tonight.
Which one?
If I can find it. Hot August Weave.
Southern Belle for $2 says, "Open Weave Society for your
farts only."
Why? What the fuck is this?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
What is that?
That is you.
No.
That is actually you with your shirt off.
No. My shirt's gonna. Okay, if I get to 10K, all right, for the 250 plus of you that are here right now.
Here's mine.
Or 300, or there's a buttload of you here. Anyway, for those of you who are here right now, what is this? I look really stoned.
And you're holding your mic provocatively. That's
not his mic.
Nope. That is a convenient mic-looking sock.
This is not me. Who did this?
I did this one.
I wonder who did it.
The Legion of Weavers.
Who did it? Who did it?
The old Neil Diamond album, Hot August Night.
I don't know. I used to love people. Horseradish Gal for £5 sterling says, why do you think Met Police and UK government swooped in so quickly on Maddie McCann? That place is well known for
another mysterious unsolved
that
crime.
area cover up for what? Well, let me tell you. Okay, this is where it gets crazy weird. Okay, and tomorrow all will be revealed in the video I'm doing tomorrow. Hopefully Grant edits it. That would be great. But anyway, a little detail. This thing started in May.
What did?
We're in July. This thing started in May. We're in July.
This thing of ours.
Yeah, the thing with this guy, this presenter, who said pictures from the BBC, and I'm not talking about unfortunate circumstances on a couch or the the big comic book show with Az and Gary. No. The entity that supposedly reports your friggin' news, your propagandists that you pay for with your taxes. This investigation, this information showed up in May.
Wow.
Yeah, and the person concerned was still having nice lunches and dinners with BBC executives. If it's just, up until just a few days ago. So, yeah.
And they still won't tell you which one of the 4 people that are accused are the person.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, E. Clay Thomason sends me some $2. Well, no, I guess it's exactly $2, not some, but $2 saying, "Is your favorite Superman Christopher Reeves?" I like Christopher Reeves.
No, my favorite Superman is George Weaves.
The little known brother to Christopher Reeves.
George Reeve. You know what? I'm mad. I'm mad. It's fine.
It's your show.
It is. Irate Specialist, who I'm trying to support for $1.99, says Cinnamon Kane, Weavy and the Hendersons. Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
That ought to work. Christopher Reeve, George Reeves. That's right. Very good, Nick. Nick never showed up. He's in here criticizing us, critiquing us. As the show's going on, he never came here.
We love you, Dick.
I'm just saying. All right. Well, we need to wrap things like 30 sandwiches. But if you've ever been familiar with with the show, we don't wrap normally. We wrap like Eminem. In other words,
shittily. Eminem. It's not a big fan. I'm not a big fan.
I can tell. Oh, wait. We don't get to leave yet because we have another super chat.
Get to leave.
Darius Munchausen for $2. $2 Chuck. $2 Chuck? That's a wine, right? Anyway,
Yep.
he says Walt Whitman's greatest poem is The Weaves of Grass. I think it's The Leaves of Grass. Speaking of grass, hey, Nick.
Nothing anymore.
Hey, Nick.
Right when you said I'm about to wrap up.
Well,
hey, Nick.
Hi, Redshirt. Hi, 70s. Hello, Arwen. And
Can I ask you a question?
Nick.
Wait. This is an important question. Why were you tardy?
I wrote in the group messenger, family gathering for the Greek thing.
Did they gather to watch the show?
No, once they heard about the show, they're like, "Oh no, we can't be around this." I was just like, "Oh, okay."
All right.
I wish they did.
The audience requests the most important thing you can possibly say at this point in time.
Huge.
That's exactly
right.
Can you say Dirty Sanchez?
Dirty Sanchez.
Okay, so what is your opinion on our new candy-based franchise, Cinnamon Kane?
Oh, that sounds delicious. I want some. It better be extra sugar, extra everything. If it's anything of that watered down bullshit, it better go in the dumpster. So I'm looking forward to trying some Cinnamon Cane.
Yeah, fair enough.
And maybe we'll side order BBC to drink. It's gonna be all good.
What's BBC in your world?
Big black coffee.
Oh, fair enough. Sounds good. I like coffee. Big fan.
But you like it big and black, though.
He likes to drink it down.
Speaking of coffee,
he didn't even add. No. Do you like having big and black coffee, or do you like cream in it?
Look, coffee in all of its various forms is fantastic. I like.
But which is better, black or with cream?
Oh, you got to have a little coffee with your cream.
Okay.
Just a bit.
Whoa. Okay. So no.
Okay, so you're a creamer.
Definitely.
Okay. Hey, at least someone admits it here.
Mm-hmm. Triple Splenda too.
Three
Extra
hours.
sweetener.
Yes. Yes, cream, cinnamon cream in particular is my favorite creamer. Cinnamon cream.
Sweetener too, yeah.
This show never ends, by the way. If you're still here, we never get to the end. Look, I like coffee. 3 hours of sleep is straight black coffee, right? Just that's it.
Straight black.
Yeah. This just get, you know what? I may not let the coffee maker finish because because that's just bad.
Does that make it a quarter black coffee?
Oh, good talks.
I love coffee. I love cream. I'll leave the rest to your imagination.
I love cinnamon cane on bean.
I love BBC.
By the way, cinnamon cane that's a beautiful Christmas flavor. Speaking of beautiful Christmas flavors,
Was she in that movie with Ant-Man, Cinnamon Kang? That her?
Dude, that guy is so just getting destroyed by his fellow.
He got off.
Compatriots. No, he did not. Dude, they're killing it. Anyway, 6 for $2. Thank you. 6 says, when making sweet love with Tom, top or bottom? I don't know. Your dealer's choice for you, 6. I mean, that's on you. I have no idea.
I don't know. We saw that video with Tom beating you with his wood. I'd say bottom, but that's just...
none of that happened.
What do you mean none of that happened?
Fake news.
You saw Tom's
fake
wood.
News.
No, that's what culture saying. It was fake news.
We warned you about deep fakes.
I have been fake deeped. Wow, that doesn't sound right.
Ooh, clip it.
No, this is not real. This is a fakiness.
I don't know, culture. You look really nice in pink, so
well,
it could be real.
Listen to the sound here.
The next question is:
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I mean, that's
Dang.
that's the sound of Culture's head getting hit by a shovel.
All I have to say is, okay, let's just say this. There's violence. There's violence in this friendship. That's fine. That's fine. Southern Belle for $2 says Weave likes big hair and he cannot lie. No. What happened just now?
Weaves and BBC, man. Everywhere you turn.
Quarter black, right here. Let me see.
BBC. Traditional, fully all in.
Hey, Joe's here. Joe for $1.99. This guy likes me. He says, coffee rocks. You go culture. Joe, I know, bro. Love you, man. This person supports me, right? No weave jokes, none of that stuff. We're good.
I believe that I joined your channel before the weave joke started.
Well,
Well,
no,
let
I
me
think
see.
you brought weave with you.
Did I bring that?
We followed you.
I don't get to membership chat you.
Why can't you?
Because I think I already used it.
You did last, just a few days ago. You were on a 6-minute daily. You must have been typing in your sleep.
No, I was hoping that Cinnamon Kane would show up. And
Arsenal's
yeah.
a weave and a half. Thank you for that.
It's a buck and a quarter staff.
Deep weave pack. Thank you, Zed.
But
Hero.
I'm not telling him that.
Look at you guys. You're just crushing me right now.
Randall's spreading vicious lies.
What did Randall say? That's true. I think I can trace that to you.
Yeah, there might have been a super chat.
Could be. All right. We're gonna wind things and downward in the direction of not
Southern Belle remembers the first night of the weavening.
What?
It was a bloodbath.
The weavening.
What?
It scarred us for life.
There was a lot of horrible things that happened during the Salem weave trials.
Dave Van Horn wants to know how my other 3 or 4 streams going. Way better than this one. I'm just saying. So if you can find me on all those other 3 or 4 streams.
Hurtful.
Oh, by the way, so so I have to go back in time 3 hours because I'm going to be on Max Van Priestley's birthday stream. And then after that, I have to go back in time another 2 hours because I'm going to be on
Salt City.
What?
North by North Weave.
You know what? I'm done. Are you done? Okay, so let's do this. Toxic Man Flu, you're going to be last. But this guy, he mods people and does other things. He's funny and great and
What?
not all that old. His name's
I modify humans.
Just another Richard.
Well, I will be joining 32 Flavors and Nick Weiser on Tuesday
I know
for
that guy.
another.
That's this
Toxic
guy right
Tuesday.
here. That's that guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be on his show talking about a toxic movie, Invasion USA, if I remember correctly. I hope I do, because I don't want to watch the wrong movie. Yes.
Okay.
It's
Tuesday night.
huge.
Oh, wait.
Yes.
So that's a segue, because then this guy's going to talk about the thing he's doing, and that'll be wonderful. Do your talking of things.
Yes, Toxic Tuesday, as Mr. Redshirt said, Invasion USA, Friday night, the comic shop show. We're going to continue our ASM run, issues 33 through 36.
ASMR?
I'll have
people like that.
I bet. I'm going to see Mission Impossible tomorrow night. So after I get out of the movie, you guys can catch my quick out of the theater reaction review on my channel and on Comics Division's Monday Night Meltdown. Of course, you can find me on Midnight's Edge After Dark as well. Thank you for having me.
Wait, no. So wait a minute. So what's the name of the new show you're on that was also an old show that you were on, but is now a new name show that you're on?
Monday Night Meltdown.
That's right. Where's that at?
Comics Division's channel. Oh,
Very
memberships
good.
coming next month. Next month,
That's right.
Start. They're going to be huge.
Nice.
Importamente. Speaking of Importamente, we brought boobs tonight. There she is. Hey, what's going on? Wonderful. How's
Culture,
it going
we
on?
always had them. Who are you kidding?
Hey now, well, we have bigger ones here. What's going on, Arwen?
Oh my God! You can find me. Sorry, you can find me and my boobs on usually on VacTube Tuesdays and Saturday nights. You can find me on my channel on Wednesdays. I stream Sugar and Spice with Darth Arlena, and then on Thursdays we alternate and we do Arwena Activated. Again with Darth Arlena, and then usually, if Steven has a community Fortnite stream, I'll be usually there too, and just kind of all over. So just come on out and say hey to me.
Yeah. And
And
I
my
think
boobs.
I think Punk Waddle's right. That's an advert right there. So we just nailed it for you. Clip that, and you'll be all good. Speaking of all good, we got a bald guy here. You have to do something nice for him. I'm not going to talk about the sheep.
A solar panel for a sex machine.
What's happening now?
So it must be Canon film season, because not only will I be on Toxic Tuesday, I hope on Tuesday night because reasons, but tomorrow is on my channel is Canon Film Club, and it's Cyborg. Is the movie.
Oh,
so we're doing Cyborg.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I love that.
Freaking awesome. But yeah, Toxic Tuesday. The reason I might be late for Toxic Tuesday is I'm going to drag my rotting carcass the 1 hour drive to the city to go to see Mission Impossible on Tuesday.
Yes.
Only the third time I'll have been in a cinema this year, but for various health related reasons. But I'm going to go do that. Hopefully back in time for a bit of Midnight's Edge After Dark and then Toxic Tuesday. I'm looking forward to that. It'll be definitely in my top 7 Mission Impossible movies. I can predict that much.
Very good. It will definitely be the case. Thank you. And by the way, Brian's not only the wonderful, affable human that you see here, he's also a client of Weave Club for Men. That's right. I know you were waiting for that. I had a lot of fun tonight. Just like me, they long to be close to Weave. Thank you, Southern Bell, for $2. Tox, we got stuff coming up this week. We cross promote here. We have the greatest channel on the planet. It's Comics Division and all of his assorted new channels. Tox, promote the hell out of that.
Yeah. So yeah.
Prepared and stuff.
Yeah. Monday, we're gonna have Brandon Morris gonna join us. Scott Sporking, he might be there. Sporking News Podcast. And MagTech Mags might be there, but Southern Bell's going to be there. Brahma, Bull, Nick Weiser, you, me, and hopefully we'll see Sir Toxlot again. So that fun starts at 9 on Monday. Meltdown, entertainment and things from there. Then we're going to switch over to Rumble exclusive for Yelling at Parked Cars. Our political stuff will start around 11 Central and go out from there. Tuesday, not doing anything. Wednesday, we're not doing anything. Thursday, we'll have Thursday Night Throwdown. We're going to be talking about this new movie from Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible Ghost in the Shell or whatever it's called.
I'd be happy to appear if you invited me.
Well, comics said no. So we'll go on. What?
I figured that was the case.
No, you didn't. Didn't say no at all.
Bush thinks I didn't promote him for promoting my panel members. Thanks, Bush. You're awesome. Appreciate it.
We've got a problem.
Welcome to the club, 70s.
Oh my God. Indeed. Okay, we're not done. I mean, we might be done, but we're not really done, because if you've ever seen this show before, there's no such thing as done. At least not anytime soon. I want to say thanks with this simple thing. Wow. And the most lovely person that you could ever meet in your lifetime. And if you get the chance to do so, because Daisy Blossom Flower Child for $20 sends a simple super chat saying, "You're the best, Culture." No, you're the best here. I love you very much. And if you ever get a chance to show up at one of the events and I get a chance to meet you, trust me, that's my privilege, not yours. I don't think you guys understand the fact that I love meeting all of you. And if you've ever met me, you know it's true. So with that, that
was a Milli Vanilli line.
It sounded like it, didn't it?
But at least Culture didn't have to lip sync it, right?
Weave, you know it's true.
Fade in.
Dick.
You weave and weave after weave.
I'm a believer.
What?
Run to the weave.
Oh, but you know what? You've
got another weave coming.
If you believe in me.
I want to play a thing, but I don't have enough time. Oh wait, here we go.
Top Gun Maverick is a stark reflection of toxic masculinity, encapsulating an outdated celebration of the lone wolf male hero from the Reagan era. Centered around Tom Cruise's Maverick, the film is awash with a toxic egocentrism that perpetuates male dominance and upholds the notion of a male savior who can flaunt rules to achieve success. The introduction of a
beyond
female
gay.
pilot, Phoenix, prime example of tokenistic gender representation. The original female leads erasure and replacement with a newer, younger, prettier love interest, further underlining the culture of toxic misogyny.
Never gonna to give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around. And first, you never gonna make you cry, never gonna say goodbye, never gonna tell a lie.
We've got to stop meeting like this.
My boobs say hey.
Oh,
they can't really
hello.
talk. They have to, so they say hey. They're glad to be here. They're a little encased at the moment, but they're enjoying themselves. And
I'm glad for that.
They are. They are. You know what? I think I'm just going to go ahead and make it official and name one Cinnamon and one Kane in honor of the scream. So hey, y'all, my boobs are Cinnamon and Kane, and they say hello and good evening to everyone. It's nice. They never get hurt a lot, so. They like to talk.
I would.
Matt Mardigan. My name is Matt, and I'm here to say that it's because of my happiness you think I am gay. I make good rhymes and I have funny jokes. I have no rival, and that is no blow. People keep trying to be like me for their popularity, but you can never achieve what comes to me so easily. I'm so far over your head, you are more lost than if you were in Wonderland. There's no advice given, caterpillar. Step this and I'll sell you a killer. We Matt Mardigan. You King, get to me, you are, and that smart again. We gonna light this up like we met Mardigan. Scared the shit out of you. Gonna make you short again. Harp on the start from the part, stab you in the heart again. Them days are not raw, I have come too far. Stinging in the age like last month's cinema. Saying the word with a hard on from inside your car. Acting hard like it's hard recast as a star. I lay awake and remember back to then. Time so tough, would never ever end. Hard to be a loner when you got no friends. With a life not even worth a defend. We gonna light this up like we met Mardigan. Like we met Mardigan. Matt Mardigan. Rewind. Let's go back to start again. This retard did a fart on a part of the den.
I was just trying to think of the whole time that was on of some joke I could make about Arwen's boobs being called Cinnamon and Kane, and it just totally defeated me. All I could think actually was oogly, 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 but I just didn't know how to make a joke out of it.
Well, I mean, okay, so if one of them's cinnamon, then it's hot and spicy. And if the other one's cane, then it's like sugar cane.
It's like the sweet
so
and
there you
sour
go.
of breasts, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, that's
Sweet and sour
right.
of the
So
breasts, yeah.
if you're on the left side, you get the burn of cinnamon. If you're on the right side, you get the sweet taste of cane sugar.
What about somewhere in the middle?
Cane sugar from Arwen's
Honey,
boobies.
Why, hello there, random citizen.
Oh, hey there, little buddy. How's it going?
Have you subscribed to Culture Casino yet?
Well, no.
Friggin'
Oh!
These guys, I tell ya.
Oh!
Dang it, I missed. Why won't these guys just subscribe already?
That hurt.
You know what, Nick? I don't understand. You also have long hair, and I have long hair. Why am I getting weave jokes? I donate my hair every year or so, and somehow I get the whole weave thing. How's that happening?
Well, you got additional 50 years on me, so it's obvious to me it's gonna be a bit more questionable to wonder if your hair is more real or not with the huge age jump. Makes sense. Not everyone can be Chuck Norris and still have a full head of hair.
Well, I guess that's true. Hey, so what are you doing tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night, I'm going to see Mission Impossible because I got a hold of one of the early screenings.
Yeah, I hate you.
And you guys I'll do a quick out of theater video from the theater reaction, and I'm coming right home to join you guys for the show. So I'll probably be like an hour and 15 late, but it'll be worth it. So
no, it'll definitely be worth it, but you can't spoil anything, okay?
I won't. Trust me, I don't want to do that. I really don't. I'd rather say you have a weed 50 more times than to even spoil one thing one time.
How dare you?
Neighbors bothering you with their loud music?
Will's in there.
Your boss or coworker harassing you?
Wait, what? Who said that?
Maybe you have a roommate who cries in their sleep. Bully Mays here with a solution that proves every problem has a mortality rate. Introducing Shank Crate, your all-in-one monthly subscription box that can take care of those in-your-face issues. Each box contains new and unique materials for you to build your very own custom shank.
Oh my gosh.
And for your protection, the contents of each box are totally secret until you receive it. And not only does it create solutions, it also serves as a creative outlet, like an adult form of Lego.
Oh, yeah.
Right? That is a literal knife's edge.
Maybe you, like some of our other customers, have questions.
Can I bring it to school?
Who's ever heard of a pencil not being allowed at school?
Can you store it in a pocket?
Absolutely.
What if you don't, have any pockets?
Your discretion. Whether you're conscientious about the earth or just not opposed to being a good steward of the environment, each Shank Crate and its contents are made of 100% recycled materials to make sure we're environmentally friendly. And if you order now, we'll be extra sensitive to the environment and keep all the original fingerprints on the items for your convenience. All for the low cost of $19.99 a month. Call 626-831-9333 to get your Shank Crate today. If you call now and secure your monthly subscription for only $19.99, you'll get your very own alibi insurance for those slightly stickier situations. But wait again, there's even more. To be inclusive, culturally respectful, and as patriotic as possible, each monthly box is themed after a unique prison in the US of A. So call 626-831-9333 now to get your very own unique, patriotic, and environmentally friendly Shank Crate with your own personal alibi insurance.
Well, hello, everyone. It's been a wonderful show tonight. We've learned so many good things. We've learned that culture can flub up a line and create a stripper out of thin air. We've learned that Arwen apparently likes to name her breasts. We've learned that 70s rock fan makes love to sheep. And we've learned that Nick apparently does a lot of things with his hair. So if you haven't learned anything from tonight's show, well, you're just a typical Culture Casino viewer who fell asleep 30 seconds into the show. Thank you all very much for watching. Thank you for supporting Culture, because he really needs the emotional support. I mean, after streams, he usually cries for about 30 minutes, thinking that people don't like him. I mean, his wife throws shoes and now meat at him. You should take pity on him and donate $5, $10, or $20 a month to this poor man who has farts that can knock down walls. That's all I'm saying. Maybe you should donate to me for putting up with that.
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My wrath, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll put it on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. I'ma poke a hole through you, choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude. Crack your holder too. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently. Thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes a dynasty. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll put it on your face to make you go take it back.
Well, I had a lot of fun tonight. I hope you did too. And, well, normally all of you all would be pushing out right now, but I have a feeling you're waiting for something you don't want to admit to. Like that dirty little secret that happens sometimes at the end of the stream. And yeah, I mean, I got friends here. I mean, Tim's here, Randall's here, Empress is here, Iron Face is here, Peter Venkman fan site. Let me tell you, awesome. Boosh is here with his member chat saying, "I'm waiting for a thank you." Thank you, Boosh. Love you big time. Renee's here. We've got Red Keld here saying, "We've been waiting for so long." So have I. So I don't disappoint any of you. You're going to get the thing you've been waiting for, all 200 of you right now in the various places. And hope you feel like you deserve it.